Okay, let's do it. I'm ready.
All right, as everyone just heard, Slevert is ready. Oh, that was the book club. Hello there. And there we go. Hello there, and welcome to Corey Loses, where today we're going to be doing a one-off adventure in our Star Wars tabletop role-playing game series thingy. Every other Sunday we do this, streaming live on Twitch, and then put the VODs up during the week. Normally we've been doing a regular full campaign, but we are missing our Ithorian Doctor this week, so we've got a one-off or a one-shot. I'd say prepared, but prepared is giving us too much credit. Bob did his job. The rest of us were making characters up until the last moment, but
Literally 10 seconds ago.
I only just got home. It's not my fault. It's not like I had weeks to plan. But so I guess we'll just introduce ourselves as normal. I'm Corey. Then we have Slevert and Inertial.
Hello.
Slevert and
Are we?
Hello.
Inertial. There you go. Are we?
Just a quick question before we start. Are we naming this campaign "Hello, Darkness, My Old Friend"? Or
I was thinking Age of Despair because we have Edge of Despair and this is Age of Rebellion, so it's Age of Despair.
perfect?
I think that works. The mission, for those of you who are at home who happen to have, for some reason, a giant stockpile of Fantasy Flight Game books, we're playing the Onslaught at Arda I adventure if you want to follow along with their exploits and where they should be going and where they inevitably won't go.
And if you want to DM me with details, please don't, because I like dying and being surprised. It's all about the failures. So I guess without any further delaying tactics from me, we're going to pass it over to our capable, benevolent, kind, wise game master, good Bob the Bob. Take it away and give me a color, I guess, because I'm looking at the pre-thing.
Oh yeah, that's pretty helpful. Okay, there you go. Blue as always. So I think for this one shot, let's
turn this down.
why don't you all introduce these wonderful, carefully planned, well thought through characters that you're all going to care so much about for the duration of this evening. Slevert, since you made two of them.
Okay. I'll just go over my the character that I'm playing.
Yes.
So my character is Pad Farlow. He's a Grand Commander Tactician, and he was born and raised on the colony planet of Malastare as a communications operator. Then the Empire came and basically killed all his friends and family. So he decided to use his communication skills to reach out to the rebellion and get smuggled off the planet, and kind of rose up through the ranks a little bit, and kind of became a frontline strategist type.
Strategist.
Strategist,
is the word.
yes.
Inertial, you want to go next?
Yeah, I am apparently playing Krosh the Wookiee who likes to hit things with a sword.
Apparently.
I didn't have time to make a character today, so Sleverd kindly made one for me. As for backstory, basically I'm just go with a nice, simple, he was a slave in the Empire, and now he's fighting against them with the rebels, so there we go.
Alright, finally, we have Orin Shinnin, the human agitator. He's a diplomat as his career, allegedly. He's from Corellia, because I figure I'm covering so many Corellians on Datapad recently, I should stick with that and be a Corellian. He's going to have a fantastic voice, so I'm really looking forward to ruining everyone's night with that in a few minutes here. Basically worked on some farms in Corellia. Was not pleased with the way things were going under the Empire, with that typical Corellian independent streak. He's a real people person. Basically, he's the anti-Vuz, for those of you who've been watching Edge of Despair. Really smart, very cunning, weak as shit. And yeah, that's about that.
So nothing could possibly go wrong for these characters in this. I should note, Sleverd asked for a more combat-oriented Age of Rebellion game, and
So
these
this
are the
is his
characters
fault.
we have.
And then
Yes,
promptly
so-
forgot about it.
Yeah, promptly forgot about it as he was making the characters the same day, which I think is very impressive. So, you'll have that. If we could all roll Destiny to find out which way the Force is flowing, There are some dice in front of you.
You'll notice the higher production values with the extra table and these two mini maps here. We're in for a treat.
So we have
Okay, 2 light.
2
Hey, for
light.
some,
That's
there should be one.
good. That's good.
Is mine?
And,
Mine's over here.
Yep, I put it right in front of your character space.
No, I thought I was on the other side, but I was in Kalo's blank
Okay.
space. One light.
Well done. Okay, there we go. So the light is on your side, just about. So that's nice. And so we begin. So you're flying in to Arda I, a rebel base that is in the far outer rim in the Gordian Reach. The planet is quite deserty. The only real population is the rebel base itself. And you guys have your acquired Lambda class shuttle, which you're going to bring in to try not to crash horribly and land. Approaching shuttle, come in. This is Major Yellow of Arda Base Control. We've been expecting you. If you have them, please transmit your slave circuit codes to be guided through the gauntlet and into the main hangar.
Who's our pilot?
I would assume the commander is in charge.
Yes, I'm obviously in charge. Yes. Yes, please. I'll send the codes, and we'll go right in.
Okay. The problem is you don't, unless your ship has a slave circuit, you don't actually have slave circuit codes to transmit, and your ship probably doesn't have one because none of you
Either
thought about
Captain,
it.
why don't you just let me
No,
take over
obviously
here for a
not.
second? All right, there. Well, see, we had a bit of a malfunction here on our ship, and that's not working out too well for us. So if you could just give us some alternative instructions, we'll make sure we're getting in there right quick.
Well, you see, it's incredibly dangerous to fly into the base without the slave circuit, but if you guys think you have a pilot capable, then head down into the canyon. We'll give you the coordinates.
All right, that's very much appreciated.
As you head in towards the marked coordinates at the end of one of the canyons, you notice the signal from the base starts to fade out on your transponder, and you hear a voice coming in. Hold on a moment. What? Something's not right. The computer guidance. Shuttle, coming. We're losing. So.
Right, well, that was a boring conversation anyway. So, Commander, why don't you just leave me in charge of communicating with our Imperial friends here? You think you can get us in there?
Imperial?
Aren't we on a slave circuit Imperial ship thing?
You're on a captured ship, yes, but you're flying to a rebel base.
Oh, that's fine then. Never mind. Fuck that. Do what you gotta do, Commander. Misunderstood.
The transmission from the base cuts out just as your onboard sensors begin to scramble. The red-purple sides of the canyon seem to envelop you as you pass under shadow after shadow of overhanging outcroppings. With no electronic readouts to go by, you're going to have to rely on visuals and your gut instincts.
So the Grand makes meditative, guttural noises, praying to whatever deity can to help him guide his way through this canyon.
So how fast are you planning to fly through the canyon? Presumably as slow and safely as possible.
Yes.
So if you could make... So let me just double check the Lambda class, which is, I believe... What's Silhouette? Should just be Silhouette 3. Silhouette 4, so that's a... with a max speed of 3. So you'll be going speed 1, obviously, because that's as slow as possible. And then the difficulty is equal to your current speed, or half its silhouette, whichever is higher. So base difficulty is 2, then it's upgraded by your speed. So that's going to be 1 red and 1 purple. There's an additional setback because of the terrain. And I'm afraid the Lambda class also has... Oh, luckily for you, it has +0 handling, so it has no modifier on the roll there. So There you go. Your wonderful piloting skill against that wonderful check. Excellent. Excellent. Success in 2 threat. That's what we like to see. That's a pretty good result. You managed to make your way through deeper into the gauntlet. As you do the threat, basically you kind of scrape your ship on the side of the canyon, and the top wing of the Lambda class scrapes underneath one of the bridges, one of the kind of rocky outcrops which are crisscrossing the top of the canyon. So it's a bit close, but you make it through.
Pad wipes the sweat off his middle eye.
It's too
As you
bad
fly
our,
deeper into
our
the
pilot got killed in that last confrontation. Otherwise, I mean, why would you have a ship with 3 people on it who don't know how to fly a ship? That's just stupid.
As you fly deeper into the gauntlet, 2 red sandstone chimneys loom on either side of the canyon. A boulder balances precariously on top of one of the spires, while the other seems to lean in towards the canyon, ready to fall at any moment. So that's going to do the same. Make another check, but with 3 setback.
I didn't think this would be the part we die on.
Oh boy!
All right, thanks
So
for
you
watching,
quit-
everyone.
You clip one of the spires and it collapses, dealing 1 hull trauma to the ship. I'll keep note of that for you for now.
What noises does a Gran make?
If you,
You ever play
Is
Jedi
it like
Knight?
the Dutch old like? "Roar"?
yeah, basically you sound like Mohonic in episode 1.
Did you not play Jedi Outcast, Lev?
No.
Oh, that too. There's
No?
loads of grants in that.
They're the ones with the grenades. The grenades is how you always remember that.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I could have made my joke about how the Gordian Reach is used to grow pumpkins and that kind of stuff, but I didn't, so you're welcome.
Suddenly the rocks seem to come alive. That's no boulder. Flocks of reptilian creatures with red scales and purple wings hurtle towards your shuttle, screeching. You feel the starship shuttle and lurch. There must be one latched onto your hull. So there are these big creatures coming towards you. You don't know exactly what they are, but for those watching at home, they are Duraninox. They are slightly Sith-spawned creatures native to Arda, who have been pretty quiet recently. But since you guys just got here, you seem to have managed to wake them up.
Those are no rocks.
So, so we roll initiative now, because you're going to have to deal with these. Let me just grab a nice Lambda shuttle here.
Yep, that's basically really good.
There you go. That's your
Representation of what we're
piloting.
about to do. Yeah.
Just so if you guys could roll vigilance, the Duraninoc are going to roll cool, and then we're going to see if you can escape them. It's either going to require fast flying or shooting them down. Let me actually see if we have a Lambda class. We should have a Lambda class.
Either one of these things, we're gonna have a bad time.
1 success, 1 advantage. Wait, I forget which symbol is which.
Tells you down here.
Zero.
Advantage.
So you just have 1 advantage. Okay.
No, 2. There's something on my character that gives me an extra advantage on vigilance checks.
Vigilance checks. Perfect. That's very lucky.
And I'll go next, I guess.
Yes. Let me give you the Lambda class profile, which I sincerely hope I have a card for here somewhere. Otherwise, this is going to be super annoying. Let me guess. There's no card for the Lambda class, despite it being an incredibly common.
I can pull one up if you need me to.
Yeah, it's cool. So I can give you a quick rundown of the stats of the ship, which is the main thing is it has a bunch of guns on it that you can use to shoot these creatures if you need to, which may be necessary, judging by the lack of piloting skill, meaning you probably don't want to just shoot through. Okay, so we have silhouette 4, speed 3. 2 force shield, 1 aft shield, 4 armor, 25 hull trauma threshold, 15 system strain threshold. You
It's
have
like 5 weapons. No, 3
Yes.
weapons, sorry. 2 forward-mounted twin-light laser cannons and
Yep.
1 aft.
Twin light blasters. And the 2 front cannons deal 4 damage, range close. Linked 1, because they're twin. And then you have 2 forward. Also, you have 2 forward-mounted twin light laser cannons instead of just blaster cannons. Wish I had a. See, I'm about as prepared as you guys, really. 5.
I have it added on my
1.
sheet just in case.
That's handy. And then aft, twin light blaster, which presumably is what you're going to want to use because they're going to be pursuing you.
4 damage, 4 advantage crit.
Yeah.
Range close.
Yep. Linked 1. All right. So if the rest of you could roll your vigilance, and I'll have these.
I got 1
wonderful
success.
creatures roll. 1 success. Wow, you guys are the most vigilant. And here we have someone with actual vigilance.
3 success, 1 advantage.
Okay. And finally, the creatures themselves. Just roll the. Their actual stat block is on page. So there are two groups of 3 of these creatures, and they're cool. For some reason, it doesn't give me that with the actual stat block. Okay, it's only 1 green. Whatever, doesn't really matter then. So that's 2 single rolls. So we have 1 advantage. Wow, they're not very good at ambushing, it turns out. And 1 advantage. So what we actually have is you guys go first, and then the Duranonox go second. And I will actually see if I can grab some appropriate vague creatures to act as creatures for this real quick. Or not. They're all going to be missing. That's great. I think there are some Nexu in here. That'll do. I mean, they're not flying creatures in any way, but, you know.
Close enough.
Whatever. They're just there so you have a vague idea of where they are. Cool, Nexu. Okay, so instead of this wonderful thing, imagine a little flying bat-like thing, which is quite a lot larger than a bat, really. Anyway, so here we are in round 1. Who would like to go first?
We can either take a shot or pilot.
Krosh is gonna. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say we can start by piloting, and then the other 2 of us can. Or I guess one of us, because it's only 1 rear facing, can shoot.
Yeah, so who has decent gunnery skills? Sounds good. Okay.
The character I didn't
I'm
finish.
going to go ahead and move ourselves forward a little bit.
I have shitty gunnery skills. Unless I can pull out my pistol and shoot at the window at them, then we're golden.
So, if you would like to make a piloting check to continue flying through the canyon, that's going to be a. Are you still going at speed 1?
I don't know the speed of these winged creatures, so I'm going to go speed 2.
Okay, so you're going to accelerate as your maneuver, then make an action to fly at speed 2 through the canyon. It's going to be the reptiles themselves add an extra setback to your piloting check because they're kind of hard to not just fly into and cause a collision.
So I upgrade twice for speed 2, right? So that gives me 2.
So, yep, that's correct. Sorry, no, you only upgrade once because it's half rounded up.
Gotcha.
Destiny point?
Is it?
Destiny point.
Let me just triple check that.
I feel that my prayers have been answered. I've only hit one thing so far, so I think I'm pretty confident right now.
Yeah, so actually it is actually 2 challenge.
Yeah, that's
There
what
we
I
go.
thought, yeah.
Okay. Good luck.
Here we go.
Where's the force? Be with us. Oh shit.
Well, it's a complete wash. You just kind of have to do a little loop around one of the spires, and you're unable to find a way forward through the clinging hordes of Duranonox. Who wants to go next?
Krosh will run to wherever the gunnery station is for the rear turret,
Uh-huh.
grumbling about wanting to hit things with a sword, and he'll take a pot shot with his amazing skills at whichever one is close.
Okay, if you could make a what silhouette are they? Silhouette 1. So that's actually going to be a hard gunnery check.
Yep, this is going to go great.
You can take an extra maneuver to aim if you want,
Yes, please.
and then that will be 2 strain, of course. 2 success.
Right.
That's a hit.
Amazing.
So we have, let's see, we have 2 groups of 2 groups of 3, so we have 6 of them. So we have so that's actually with the rear blast, that's 4 damage plus 2 success. That's 6 damage. You actually just wipe out one of the groups. It just like blasts them to pieces. So one
Krosh
of the groups
gurgles happily.
you just blast out that. However, the 3 threat means you dislodge some more rocks with your huge amount of fire, and they crash onto the ship, dealing 3 system strain. Okay, and finally we have our wonderful diplomat who can't really talk to the animals.
We only have the one gun that's facing the right direction, right? So
But you only have one gun facing backwards, so that guy's flipped over and dead. The other guns are all forward facing right now, and the Duranonox, they're kind of all around you, so I'd allow you to try and take a shot with the forward facing gun from the co-pilot seat.
okay. So I'm gonna try to do that then.
Would you like to use the lasers or the blasters?
I'm going to use the blasters.
Okay, so let me think. So there's 2 forward mounted. I guess you can just fire both at once, and then they're linked one. So if you get 2 advantage, anyway, it's going to be hard because they are flying all, because they're small. And then you can take a maneuver to aim if you like. Since presumably you're probably in the cockpit,
Yeah.
You don't need to make so you can aim for boost.
Is that it?
Seems good to me. 1 success, 1 advantage. So that is not enough to activate linked, unfortunately. You deal 5 damage, killing 2 of them outright, and leaving 1 injured, which flaps off with one of its wings. And it tries to flap off to the cabin side and leaves you guys alone.
All right, we got this.
Yeah, so
Take
you
us home,
managed to
Pat.
fight off. Yeah, you managed to fight off the Duranonox. But you're still going to need to fly your way to the base, which is going to take another one of these piloting checks. It's only 1 setback now, but you can slow your ship down now that you're not being pursued.
Easy does her.
You're just
Go
going to keep
pilot, I
doing
need
this the whole
assistance.
time.
100%.
Co-pilot, can you assist me?
No, I'm just gonna keep sitting at platitudes.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm gonna assist.
Too late.
Too late
You made the
now.
roll. Too late. Too late. You fail. You just circle around. So basically, what I'm going to say. So
Can I
I'm gonna
find
say-
can I find a better clearing? Like, I realize that I can actually fly over the canyon.
No, you cannot fly over the canyon to
Oh,
get to the
come-
base. The coordinate, the actual the hangar that you have to fly into is very low in the canyon to avoid people finding it. It's well hidden.
how about for the advantages? Could I realize that I could put the landing or the flaps up so I can slightly decrease the silhouette of my ship?
Sure. Yeah, you force the
Oh, no.
you force the wings into landing mode,
Oh no.
and you can give it another shot after circling round. So you can make the same roll without the setback.
Are you going to assist me again?
Yeah, I'm gonna assist.
He's actually going to help this time. This time, your ship kind of scrapes the walls. You know, you fold the flaps up, but you forget. For some reason, that makes you think you forget that there's any top wing to the ship, and you just scrape the top wing, dealing another 2 hull trauma to the shuttle. And you scrape your way in towards the hangar. And as you get to a close range, your comms light back up, and you hear a frantic Celestin on the other end. You're coming in too fast. Slow down. Slow down. Strap in and prepare for impact. We're clearing the hangar now.
Oh no.
Does
There's no
Cross
stopping
hear
us.
that in the back? He's still on the turret.
Just looking out for more creatures.
Yeah.
So could you make an average piloting check to try and land this before?
Same challenge, right?
No challenge in this case, just
Okay.
average.
Okay.
And
I'm assuming you want to help.
Yeah.
You see our lives flashing before our eyes.
I'm
Or
still.
5 eyes.
I'm back in my co-pilot position, just keeping an eye out.
My hands are uncontrollably shaking at this point.
Oh my god.
How fiery is our doom?
You bounce the ship into the hangar. It screeches and skids round, sending up sparks. One of the landing pads collapses.
Can
take another
I give
3
the
hull
advantage? The
Yeah, go
advantage is
on.
I don't destroy anything else except for that landing pad in our ship.
Sure, yeah. And the ship kind of lurches to a halt at a very odd angle, and the landing ramp extends and like crashes into the floor. Exactly.
Cross rushes outside, falls on his knees, and kisses the ground.
Orange struts confidently down the landing.
You see the Major walk out. He's a Celestin, short, slim, jowly. He has like a few, he has some bristly white hair and a spray of dark speckles on his left cheek. As he comes in, wow, that flying was something else. You certainly dealt with those creatures. Bigger
I'm
and
a
nastier than
strategist,
lizards
not a
we
pilot.
usually
Unfortunately,
see in
our
the
pilot
canyons.
got killed on our last mission, so
Oh,
Pleasure to meet
that's
you.
really unfortunate.
pleasure to make your acquaintance. What's your name?
Major Yallo at your service. I wonder if they picked up that same interference we were getting over at Command and Control. Yes, perhaps those creatures were excited by it.
Well, they won't be excited about much for long. We kind of blew them all up.
Well, anyway, I suppose you probably want to refuel and relax a little bit before you head back out.
We would appreciate a new pilot for our group if you don't
Oh,
mind.
well, that's the problem. Captain Bess has a bit of a task for you guys. We're kind of short-handed here, and one of our pilots, Jared, is kind of sick in the med bay, and we kind of need someone to fill in on the airspeeder patrol.
You need us to pilot after what you just saw.
Honestly, I think you did a pretty good job. I mean, you got here and landed, and you definitely dealt with those creatures pretty efficiently.
How
Alright.
sick is that pilot?
Yeah, are we talking stomach flu? Or are we talking terminal cancer that is going to be in effect in the
We're
near
talking,
future?
we need you, and the captain outranks us.
All right. I'm just
Report
looking out
back
for
to him at
rebel
1500
assets.
hours, and we'll get you flying. Don't worry. One of you can just sit in the back. One of you can pilot. It'll be fine. I know there's 3 of you, but there's another pilot who can take one of you in the back. I'm sure whoever was taking the rear gun back there would be pretty happy to take a gun again.
Cross, almost throwing up, raises his hand and just falls over, face up.
You're all right, Crush. Don't give it too much of that.
So you
Be
have a couple
more-
of hours to explore the base before it's time to report to the captain for duty. The map of the base is the one that's not the canyon with the Imperial advance on the screen. So if you guys have ended up in the hangar number 1. Thankfully, most of the starfighters weren't in the way at the time. And then there's a bunch of other buildings and places you can go check out if you like.
This is probably accurate to how the ship is oriented right now.
Yep. So, what do you guys want to do? For reference number 1, you're in the main hangar. There's a couple of squadrons of fighters backed up against the walls and some sand speeders, modified T-47s. Number 2...
was the captain who wanted us to do this? His name?
Captain Bess. Hal Bess.
And it was Major Yeller?
Yalor. Y-A-L-O-R.
Thank you.
Number 2 is the habitat area. That's where the people live. Number 3 is the mess hall. Number 4 is the med bay. Thankfully, none of you got injured, despite your wonderful piloting. Number 5 is command and control, where you'll find the base commanders if you want to talk to them. Number 6 is the armory. And that about covers it.
Okay. First thing I want to probably do is see if we can find some extra recruits, since we've been a little short-handed since our pilot died.
Sure.
I mean, they just said, I don't know that we're finding recruits for anything. We're in a rebel base here. We just got to follow our orders, Commander.
I'm sure we can convince some privates to assist on a worthy cause.
Well, sir, I don't
So-
want to stop you from convincing no privates, but that's more of a private matter itself, don't you think?
For reference, number 7 is an auxiliary hangar.
I think we best go speak to our commanding officers, don't you think, sir?
Very well.
So you're gonna head off to command and control?
We'll head off to command and control.
Okay. There are multiple passages throughout the complex leading to the base's command and control center. There's dozens of map boards highlighting various galaxy sectors, Imperial troop movements, fleet strengths, and other information are arrayed around the room. And there's a large holo table dominating the center, surrounded by Alliance tacticians at all times. The table's displaying real-time data from dozens of rebel listening posts scattered across the outer rim. When you first enter, Major Yalor is currently over at the comms array, and there's a human woman and her field assistant, as well as a few other command staff members who aren't ranking. As you walk in, the human woman looks up from the tactics display. Ah, you must be some of the fresh blood coming in from. Where are you guys hailing from? Let's decide this. Where are you guys coming from?
Wherever the shuttle was coming from.
Wherever your shuttle was coming from. Great.
Our pilot's dead. We don't know where we're coming from, where we're going. It's really just.
So where are we actually at on the map here?
So you guys are currently in number 5, the center of the base. The command and control. In
we
terms of the
just-
actual
yeah,
map of the galaxy,
yes.
you mean?
Yes,
You're in the Gordian. You're in the Gordian Reach.
Up by Yavin.
Okay.
Literally Arda. The one that says Arda. You're on Arda 1. There's a couple of other planets in the system, but they aren't really. They're even less to talk about than Arda 1. So
Let's
in the
say
Gordian Reach.
we managed to steal this shuttle, or we got out of there on the shuttle when some weird fires were happening on Ithor.
Okay. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Yeah, it was strange that business on Ithor. I heard there was a Star Destroyer involved. Usually the Empire keeps away from the Ithorians. They don't like the whole biological thing. Anyway, I'm Senior Advisor Satena Hayes. I'm the liaison here between the staff officers and the local population on the other planets in the system. And you are?
Commander?
Yep. Pat Farlow at your service. I have currently a diplomat with me and a fellow soldier.
I
in
mean,
Krosh.
Cross
Diplomat
growls
in
a
a
greeting.
previous life. I'm more of a spokesperson for the rebels nowadays, if you know what I mean. Pleasure to meet you.
Hey, you're from Corellia, aren't you?
Don't sound like it, but I sure am.
Oh no, I know your accent. I'm from Tralis myself.
Oh yeah, Tralis. Us five worlds. We gotta stick together in this, you know.
Well, obviously, the oppression of the Empire is not something we can take sitting down.
Absolutely not. That's why I spend most of my time standing up.
Anyway, is there anything I can do for you?
Of course.
I know Captain Bess has a task for you in a couple of hours, but if there's anything else I can get you while you're here,
Perhaps some intelligence on the actual task at hand. He only gave us some directions, not necessarily what we're going to be facing.
I mean, I think talk to Captain Bess. He'll tell you. He's usually over in the maintenance wing of the hangar.
Well,
Va?
if he knows best.
Va. She motions to her aide. Va, could you go escort them to the captain, please, so they can be briefed? Va nods and says, "Of course, ma'am. If you could come with me, please." Va is a pretty uninteresting kind of person. He just seems to be pretty deferential towards his commander, and he's always carrying like a bunch of data pads with him. And he leads you back towards the hangar down a side corridor to the offices, which you can see. And he knocks on the door and says, "Captain Bess, we've got these visitors who are going to be taking up that post you need." The captain gets up from a chair. He's a pretty old-looking man, tired, kind of worn out. He's dressed in some simple flight gear, and he's got slightly bloodshot eyes. Clearly, many nights spent sitting in a cockpit, staring out into space. He salutes and says, "Thanks, Var," and Var walks out. "So, you just came in on that shuttle, huh?"
That's one way of putting it.
"Yes, well, you made it here in one piece, and that's good enough for what you're going to be needing to do. We just need you to take out a couple of the sand speeders and fill in for the patrol. One of our pilots being ill. We need the patrol to be filled out. It's just going to be a routine job. Nothing serious. You just fly around, head back into the canyon. The speeders are very maneuverable. I don't think you'll have as much trouble as you had with the shuttle."
All due respect, sir, if I could possibly suggest, you said you're missing a pilot and you're missing 2 gunners. Is there any arrangement by which we could have... is any of the gunners also skilled as a pilot? Because as you can probably tell from our arrival here, we are not necessarily most skilled in that area, but put us behind a gun and I think you'll be pleased with the results.
"Oh, it's fine. You'll do. One of you can pilot, one of you can gun, the other one can sit in the back. We have one of our pilots. She's going to be stepping in for this. Usually she's flying the A-wings, but one of them's in for repairs at the moment. I think you'll be fine."
All right, sir.
He kind of stares hard. He stares a little hard at you. "So if you could report back at 1500 hours, which is, I believe, he looks at a watch. That's going to be another hour, 45 minutes. And we'll get you on patrol."
Very well.
Dismissed.
I'll salute and walk out.
I follow.
Krosh salutes and follows.
So, anything else you guys want to do in the base?
I'm good with waiting for the assignment to start.
You're gonna
So-
chill.
I wanna check out how badly injured that other pilot is.
Okay, you want to go to the med bay?
Yes.
Okay, you head to the med bay. It's pretty well. What's the word? Furnished. Let's go with furnished. Equipped. Well-equipped med bay for the base. You can hear bubbling back to tanks, and there's monitoring devices. There are a couple of medical droids looking after a rather battered-looking soldier, and you notice in one of the back to tanks, a slightly skinnier-looking man is floating. There's a beautiful-looking human woman in her late 30s checking some of the display readings on the back to tank.
I will go up to her and introduce myself. Hi, I'm Pad. I just wanted to know about the current status of the pilot that's in your care.
Oh, hello, Pad. You came in on that shuttle, I assume?
Yes.
Seems
Dr.
like
Lauren
everyone's
Mark,
heard about it.
pleased to meet you. Yes, I'm afraid Jared here is severely injured. Injured. He's just... I don't know what's up with him. It seems like a case of really severe poisoning, to be honest. Food poisoning, I think, but it's not any kind of food poisoning that I've seen before. He's definitely not in any state to fly, that's for sure. You put him in a cockpit and he's just going to cover the screen and vomit, no trouble.
Have there been any other people that have been poisoned here at the base?
No, not in my records. The most we get are, blaster wounds and battle scars.
Unfortunate. Do you happen to have any other potential goods for us to use, or stim packs or anything like that?
I'm afraid all the medical equipment here is for base personnel only. And, well, you should know, in the Rebellion, we need all the medical supplies we can get.
Yes, understood.
If you sustain any injuries in your duties here, obviously you can come to the med bay, and I'll do my best to patch you up.
Well, I appreciate that. Have a good day.
Yes, take care.
Krosh mumbles and asks for something for motion sickness.
Motion sickness. Sure, yeah, there are some tablets in the drawer over there, and she motions to one of the droids, who just twists around and picks some out and gives them to you.
Krosh gulps them down and moans a little bit happier.
Krosh doesn't enjoy flying very much then, huh?
Certain people are piloting, no.
It's okay. You can choose who pilots which speeder you get into, right? So
My 3 eyes see all.
Of course they do. Okay, so you guys gonna basically just head to the mess hall and chill?
Yeah.
Until the time comes?
Yeah.
Could I?
So
I have before we start this. I know there is an issue with the comm array that they're having some issue trying to send out communications. I have a comm pack that's like I gotta look at the exact range of it, but I think it was like long range planetary scale. Am I actually able to make communications out, or is my stuff just as scrambled as theirs?
Your stuff is just as scrambled as theirs. Pretty much, the communication system at the base is much stronger than your man-portable pack. Your man-portable pack could definitely contact the base if there wasn't this scrambling going on at the moment. It's not really clear where it's coming from or what's causing it. You could maybe talk to Major Leelor. He seems like he's like the technician on the base. So he might have a better idea of what's going on.
Yeah, I'll make sure to make a note of that and talk when we come back.
Okay, cool. So you pass some time in the mess hall, have a few drinks. The bartender is pretty interesting. Earl Hayden, he's a retired spy who has a missing eye, a missing arm, and a missing leg, all replaced by cybernetics that he's lost during the course of his duty to the Alliance. But there's people drinking and gambling and laughing and that kind of. There's some terrible music playing. It's a mess hall. And the 3 o'clock comes, and you hear on your comm links, Captain Best says, all scout members to the hangar, all scout members to the hangar.
Well, gentlemen, I guess that's us.
Let's do it.
Krosh sighs.
go to the hangar.
Captain Best finishes looking over a data pad, handing it over to a droid engineer that rushes off to a nearby airspeeder. He turns to you, sizing you up, and nods. Right, sectors 16, 17, and 18. They're marked on the maps that are inside the speeders. Shouldn't take you more than a standard hour or two, at which point you'll return to base for debriefing. We're counting on you, Vortex. So there are 2 Alliance sand speeders that have been that are available for you guys to use. A rather cocky-looking female pilot wanders over and says, "So, which of you hotshots am I going to be having in the back?"
Crush almost not quite rushes towards her and almost not quite crushes her in a hug.
Oh, okay there, Carpet. You might find it a little cramped in the back there, but okay, I'm glad to have you on board. Mine's over there. She points to one which has like a red stripe on it. And then she points to another one and says, "So whichever one of you is the pilot, and get in that one, and the other one, man the gun. I'll see you out there." She jumps into the speeder and motions for you to get in, Crush.
And Crush does so.
Well,
Okay.
Aaron, I guess you're with me. I hope
What's
this
your
thing-
piloting skill?
3.
3? Alright.
3.
I'm 2, so... Alright, let's do this, sir. This seems like a
hop
poor
in.
use of resources, I gotta say.
The rebels are strapped for people, and they need the patrol done. And you happen to show up at just the right time. And you don't have anything better to do yet, so... The repulsor lift engines hum to life as you launch out of the hangar and through the gauntlet on your way to the first sector. The canyon's not nearly as daunting now that you're in a smaller craft, specially designed for this sort of terrain. Zooming between the spires, it almost seems like fun. Almost. You're very glad, by the way, Krosh, that Mercedes Vanadias, the pilot you have, you're very glad that you took the motion sickness pills, because she is flying a little recklessly. She's clearly trying to show off a bit to you guys.
Well, someone got given a job that they were qualified for, at least.
So if one of you could make a so if a pilot pad could make a piloting check at whatever speed you feel comfortable. So they're only silhouette 2, so it's a base so you can literally just be 1 challenge die and a setback if you want. And you can just keep it, just go whatever speed you feel comfortable.
We've got slow and steady wins the race over here. I have injured myself or scared myself enough in that Lambda shuttle that I am taking this as slow as possible.
Okay. You succeed quite nicely. Mercedes does a loop around you just to show you at full speed, laughing down the column, saying, "Wow, you gonna head to the shops there, Granddad?"
Only one eye pays attention to her, slightly squinting.
You notice nothing comes up on the scanners in this first sector, and then as you head into Sector 17, the canyons begin to widen. You find yourself flying over rocky mesa. The bluish-purple sky seems to stretch on forever, and before long it seems like you're seeing the same scenery over and over again. Does anyone have Cunning rank 3?
I do. I have 4 cunning.
Okay, so you have 3 or more Cunning. Yeah. Okay, so as you fly past, you notice, looking out the back window, just you kind of waving the gun around board, you notice there's kind of a black box with red and blue lights blinking in the shadow of a rocky outcropping.
Sir, we got a some kind of box out there. Do I have any idea what it is?
You could make a hard computers check to have a vague idea from this distance.
Hard computers check?
Yeah, but otherwise you're going to need to land.
Let's see. 3, okay.
Could before you actually do that, could I actually kind of drive past it, pass him my infra binoculars, and see if he can see through the object, through the wall of the crate?
It's not a crate. It actually seems to be some kind of electronic device.
Gotcha.
So,
All right, sir. We seem to got something over there. What am I getting out of this?
it seems to be some kind of signal jammer. Signal jammer,
sir,
communication device, something like that.
some kind of signal jam is back there, sir.
Mercedes is flying past her. She gets closer. She's saying on comms, "Hey, well, this is the." She's like, "Oh, this is really boring, guys. Guys, breaking my scan."
All right.
So the
she's,
short range.
Go for
Do
it.
we want to? Yeah. So, do we want to disable this thing, or do we want to take it back to base?
Is it a place that's accessible? If we were to.
Oh yeah, you could definitely land. It's like this. These kind of rocky mesas are pretty easy to land on.
Okay. Yeah, sir. If you want to bring us
Like
down,
you won't even need
I'll take a look.
You won't even need a check. You won't even need a check to come land.
I'll go grab it
Yeah,
if you
so
like.
So the closer you get, the stronger the interference gets. Mercedes basically just starts doing a loop, and Crush, you have no idea really what's going on because your audio is cut out basically, and then she comes into land as well after looping a couple of times. So she kind of turns around and says, "Well, if they found something, we better go check it out, Crush." And she hops out of the speeder and motions for you to do the same, and you all head towards the blinking box. It's kind of this big black square. It has 4 red lights blinking on it and a kind of blue ring.
I pick it up.
It's pretty big. It's going to take a couple of you to take it off the rock. It's going to need a hard athletics check.
Krosh picks it up.
Crush picks it up. Yeah. So if you can make a hard athletics check, Crush. Which I believe for you is 1 yellow, 4 green, and so 1 proficiency, 4 ability, and
I
a
think you
boost.
might have a boost. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go for it. 4 success, 3 advantage. You take it off without doing any damage to it. You don't even scratch the rock. What do you want the 3 advantage to do?
Hold on, Krosh. Can I get a good look at that? See if I can shut it down?
Krosh growls an affirmative and just starts kind of turning it this way and that to see if he can position it better for her.
Yeah, you find what looks like a power pack connected to it. And with the advantage, I'm going to say you can quite easily remove the power pack and it immediately shuts down. And as you do that, you hear your comms, the static on your comms, die off.
I'm going to come back over to the base and say we found the issue with our comms being jammed. We have the item and we're going to bring it back to base. The power pack's off.
You hear over the comms, Vortex, we can't quite hear you jamming still quite strong.
Luckily, all those words were important that got through. That's good. Hard to imagine what they didn't say.
I'm going to look back at Mercedes and say, so it seems like we have another little mission here. We're going to need to pick up all these jammers.
Better get jammed.
How big are these jammers? We can't fit them in the air speeders, can we?
You can, yeah. They're not so big that you can't fit them. They're heavy, but there's enough. There's basically the air speeders have small cargo compartments, and you can just about cram it in. Basically, you have to take some of the cargoes, some of the supplies out of one of the air speeders, put it in the other air speeder, then put the jammer or whatever it is, communications device of some kind, into your air speeder. And you probably, even if you try and pick up more of them, you won't be able to transport more than one.
I think we only need to transport one. We're going to just destroy the other 2. That's what I'm
thinking. You don't know there are 3, do you?
Shoot.
You don't know how many there are.
There's at least one more.
Anyway, you may as well head back towards Sector 18, the next part of your patrol.
Piloting check, I'm guessing.
No, actually, again, that direction is mostly flat. You circle back around towards the base near the final sector. You finally get the comms coming back in. It's still not quite as strong as it should be, but you hear Major Yalor. 4x4, come in. We've got a strange signal coming in from that area. Can you check it out and let us know what you find? Arda base, out.
That's an affirmative. We'll go and check it out.
So could you make either an average computer's check with setback or a hard perception check? Whoever wants to do one of those things.
That's probably going to be you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Average computer check with
one setback. Or a hard perception check. I feel like your perception's pretty good.
Yeah.
Because you're quite cunning.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have 4. 4 green. Yep, that looks good.
One success,
3 threats. Okay, so as you buzz the area, you home in and your computer starts to pick up the signal, but your eagle eyes quickly pick up a Viper probe droid scanning the area.
Sir, you seeing this? Probe droid
I'm seeing it. I'm going to try to come over to Mercedes.
Yeah, what is
Let
it?
her know.
What is it, Pad? A
We
probe
see a
droid.
probe droid.
Karabast, the Empire's here. We got to get back and warn the base.
Should we
We're
destroy
not going to
it?
take this thing out.
Well, yeah, we can take it out. Sure.
We think it's live transmitting to some Imperial somewhere out there, or we going to trigger
Well, I
something
don't
by
know.
shooting at it?
I don't know. All I know is that if there's a probe droid, there's going to be Imperials.
All right, Commander, we taking it out. We heading back to base. It's up to you.
We're going to do a quick drive-by, see if we can take it out. If not, we're flying back.
Okay. So if you want to make a... So because of the 3 threat, you're not, like, basically... I'm going to give 2 boost to the Viper droid's initiative, so it can spot you, essentially. So it has 3 vigilance, so it's going to... PC... Oops. PC, and PC. And you can just... you can say what Mercedes should do, because she will defer to you, because you are technically a commander, Pad. So you barely outrank her. She definitely outskills you, but you outrank her. So, and she's not really she's not super prepared for what's happening right now. So let's see, vigilance 3. So the probe droid, that's 1 yellow, 2 green, and it's going to get 2 boost on its vigilance check. And there's 1 success, 4 advantage. So if you guys want to make you can make cool checks because you spotted it, or you can make vigilance, whichever you prefer.
It's both shitty for me, regardless.
Okay, well,
Good roll.
hey, good roll.
2 success, 2 advantage.
Where'd you get that?
I have no idea. It's on my character sheet.
I get 0 success, you're 2 advantage.
Oh, right. Right. The extra 1 advantage is because you
might have rapid reaction?
No, it's his luck armor. The luck
okay.
armor gives you plus 1
okay.
advantage. That's why it's luck armor. It has built-in sensors and stuff, so you're always prepared. So, Pad, what's your? You actually have good vigilance.
Well,
not
I didn't
really.
roll good village vigilance though.
So we have player character going first, then an NPC, then 2 player characters. So for reference, the airspeeders, I'll just give you their weapons profile. That's all that's really relevant here. They have a forward-mounted twin heavy blaster cannon, which is damage 5, linked 1, range close. You're currently at, I would say short range, so you may need to make a maneuver to move up to close range. Yeah, I'm going to say you're short range from the probe droid. Where's the probe droid model? I've got one right here.
Are probe droids considered vehicles or people?
For this case, it's actually personal scale. So you'll deal a lot of damage to it if you hit it. I'll just put it over here so it's easier to see what's going on. So you guys are at short range from the probe droid. You have close range twin heavy blaster cannons and an aft light repeating blaster cannon. Which obviously the rear gunner uses. So who wants to go first?
Should I go first and just get the first shot at it? Because I'm apparently.
You need to
right
fly
at it,
close to
or-
it first.
You
You
need to
need to
fly
fly
close.
close to it.
Yep.
And also, you're a rear gunner, so
Oh,
he's
shit.
got to kind of strafe it and go past it for you to be able to hit it.
We'll let Mercedes go first.
Okay, so Mercedes turns to Crush. You ready for this? Crush, you ready for this?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he growled affirmative.
Okay. She flies into close range and takes a shot at the probe droid with the twin blaster cannons. And I believe they have... I'm just going to give her this, and it's a silhouette. Silhouette 1, so again, it's going to be... Oh no, it's just average. Average to hit. She's not going to take strain to aim, because that would damage the ship. So she flies in, takes a shot at it, and deals 80 damage. Just blasted. The probe droid just explodes into a cloud of smoke. Yep. She hit it, and it's gone. So that probe droid is destroyed. And as the smoke dissolves into nothing, you look up and see the dread silhouettes of Imperial Star Destroyers on the horizon. Your stomach drops as your worst fears are confirmed. The Imperial Starfleet has found the Arda base. Could all of you make an easy fear check?
I don't think our
With
snow beaters can
leadership,
take
could
that.
I reduce any of that? Is that what leadership does?
Leadership can reduce the results from fear after they happen.
Gotcha.
I believe
And
our
fear check is a discipline.
discipline, yes. I believe our Wookiee has something related to fear.
Damn, Slev.
No, I must be misreading. So 2 success, 4
Yeah, I'm not
advantage. So
seeing
you can
anything.
use that. You can use those advantage to pass boost to the next people to make the check if you want.
Yeah. I'm
Multiple
gonna
boost
use
even.
those advantage to who has. Oh yeah. I'll pass boost.
I'm only going to be rolling
Okay.
2 ability, so.
Same
do
here.
you want to explain how your wonderful, how your amazing, how your response to the Imperials arriving has hardened your comrades to
Yes.
the reality?
So my seeing frontline combat before, this really doesn't faze me. Seeing Star Destroyers out in the sky, my calmness helps at least Aaron have some semblance of assurance.
Okay.
It's just like another day for me.
Apparently it doesn't.
You get 1 advantage. So you fail the fear check. That's going to add a setback to your next check.
Okay.
But you do have 1 advantage. So what do you want to do with that?
Can I notice anything about how many Star Destroyers there are?
Yes, there are 3 Star Destroyers. And in a moment, you can do some additional reconnaissance if you like.
All right.
You're aware basically that your position gives you the chance to get some recon in on the Imperial force disposition before returning back to base and letting them know what's going on.
That's good.
So, Crush, if you'd like to make your fear check. Wookiees are kind of hilarious fraidy cats. So, yes, 2 success, 1 threat. You take a strain. You're not exactly enjoying this scenario.
He whimpers a little, but then recovers his composure.
Yep. So, what do you want to do now?
We're flying back to base.
Well, should
Okay.
we see if there's
You wanna
anything
do-
else we can see around here, sir?
You can do it while we're flying back.
All right.
Okay, so as Pad turns the speed around and points it right back towards the base, you can make an average computer's knowledge warfare or perception check.
Computer's knowledge, warfare, or perception.
Is that all of us or just our?
Well, whoever's looking in the right direction. You're
Okay.
busy flying, so
Yes.
I have a point in warfare, so
okay, so you can make the check as well, and we can see what you two come up with.
I'm getting a setback from the fear, right? And then it's done.
Yes, then it's gone. So you're not looking as cleanly as you were before. Okay, so you
Krosh, I think I saw
advan-
something up by that other rock over there. If you want to take a look on your way past, that's my advantage boost for him.
okay.
Rosh growls
Okay.
in affirmative. So this is the
So-
warfare check.
Yes, so just average difficulty.
No setback.
Yep. Excellent. So with 2 success, do you want to learn do you want to learn about the ground forces or the aerial forces primarily? I can give you a little bit on both.
Let's go for a little bit on both.
Okay. So there's Imperial transports entering the atmosphere, so they're bringing ground troops. And you can see TIE bombers heading towards the gauntlet that are clearly heading in that direction to destroy any rebel bunkers or emplacements that you guys have, which you saw as you came up as you came up the canyon the first time. As you realized like the amount of stuff that's coming at Arda base, you take another strain. This is an incredibly stressful experience now. And you try to calm the base, but once again, static. You guys are going to have to head back. And I think we're going to take a short break.
Hey. So I think we're gonna put 10 minutes on that, and then we'll be back.
Sounds solid.
All right. So join us for the thrilling assault on Arda base in 10 minutes. Right, welcome back, everyone. We are about to get murdered. So, Bob, if you want to tell us how we're going to get murdered, then that'll be great.
Okay, so there is a wing of TIE fighters barreling down the canyon. They've seen you guys on their scanners. They're at extreme range, and they're closing as fast as TIE fighters can close, which is really freaking fast. So, Mercedes is going to keep flying at top speed and happily wind her way through the canyon, while Pad is the one who has to do all the hard work. So, your options are full speed, daunting piloting check with what? So that's three difficulty, 1 challenge, or a hard piloting check at speed 3, which is a 2 difficulty, 1 challenge check.
I'm doing a hard piloting check. So that's
Okay.
2 difficulty, 1 challenge.
Yep, and you have 2 boost because of the high maneuverability, and 1 setback because of the rugged terrain.
Gotcha.
And if you succeed, you will continue to keep the distance between you and the TIE fighters to extreme. Okay? Imagine the asteroid field music. Okay, so your
Imagine the sad trombone music.
so it has 6. Your ship has 6 system strain threshold, so it's going to take a system strain.
Do you want me to track that? I can track that.
I'm tracking it currently. And
Gotcha.
the TIE fighters are going faster than you, so they close to medium range. You're still shooting towards the base. Could you make the same roll again, please?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
They close to close
okay.
range.
For my advantage, could
Yes?
I have some bats come out?
Yes! That's incredible! That's a brilliant use of advantage. A bunch of these Devaroneks are really annoyed by these
whining of the ion
whining
thruster.
TIE fighters, yeah. And they fly out in front of the TIE fighters, and the TIE fighters are just scattered up out of the canyon and away from
the
them.
night.
And you manage to make it back to base in one piece.
Yes.
Wow. Way to turn that frown upside down.
That was good.
Because you were flying at speed 3, you can add a boost to the foot to the. There's a boost that you can add later on. Let me just make a note of that.
Didn't blow up boost?
Page 34. Okay.
The die boost.
My favorite boost.
So you land the sand speeders rapidly into the hangar. There are alarms going off everywhere. The General Ranniol, who's a senior commander at the base, calls you to the command and control via comlink. He said, "Immediately, please, command and control. Please, immediately."
Quick time.
And as you run into command and control, you notice there's on the holo readout, there's maps of the system showing Imperial Star Destroyers and TIE fighters converging on the planet. There's an advanced force of TIE bombers with TIE fighter escorts already inside the atmosphere and conducting bombing runs on the canyons. And you're hearing thunder shaking the base, dust falling from the ceilings from the impacts. It's a lot like Echo Base, but dust instead of sand. These strikes are coming in waves of 2 or 3 every few minutes. Neil turns to you. There's no time. He doesn't really have time to introduce himself, but I'll describe him. He's a pretty tall, older man who's got close-cropped, blonde, grey hair. He's clearly very imposing, and he has a really strong presence. He kind of fills the room, despite being only one man. The Empire's discovered us, though I don't know how. Evacuation is priority 1, and securing as much of this equipment as we can is secondary. We're scrambling fighters to buy us time, but we don't have much either way. As another blast rocks the complex, General Nile entreats you for all that you can offer. We need a point team to head into the canyon. As a precaution, we rigged one of the cliff faces to explode, but the comm interference means we need a team to set the charges manually. We don't need a demolitionist, just someone to push the plunger, so to speak, and time the explosions to bury as many of their walkers as possible. Take this datapad with a map of the gauntlet with you, and good luck.
We'll need it. All right, so that's us. I take it.
Yeah.
And I look at Mercedes and I'm like, "You're coming with us."
Welcome to the team.
She's not with you. She's been
She's
taken
gone.
to the. She's been scrambled with the fighters.
Oh, okay.
Well, shit.
So, do you want to gain any more quick information from the command and control room before you leave?
Would it be possible for me to dash to the armory and try to find like a rocket launcher or something?
You don't have time for that.
Okay.
We just got to try
There
to
are laser
avoid the
cannons.
walkers and take out whatever we can with the blast.
Yeah, there are emplacements along the canyon that you might be able to use. But we'll see how that goes. Okay, if you guys are done here, you can head towards the head down the canyon. So Arda I has like all these rock vents running through the canyons, which are the result of certain geological processes in the planet's past. And there are a few other tunnels as well, like the base uses a bunch of these tunnels. So you can see on your map, the cliff face with the demolition charges is on the north face of the western bend of the gauntlet. It'll usually take about 30 minutes to get there if you walked at a leisurely pace, but presumably you realize that time is of the essence. So you can choose to run and cut the time in half, but you can either succeed, or you can take the walk, basically.
Does
So
the map help us out at all here, or is it just
The map is
to
basically just
kind of guide the
it
way?
makes sure you don't get lost, because the tunnels are a warren.
Is it
the map
dark
helps
in the
with
tunnels,
vague
or is it?
There are lights strung up every 50 feet or so, and they're flickering every time the bombing runs come through. And you see there's other Alliance infantry running past you, carrying rifles and rushing to battle stations.
So there a cargo hold
You
we
hear
can
warnings.
commandeer for this any faster than we'd run. Any kind of speed.
No, there's nothing that'll fit through the tunnels.
Okay. Sir, we should just book it. You good
Yeah.
for this, Josh?
We're running.
Okay, if you could all make average athletics checks.
Oh shit. Bad at everything that I need to be good at right now.
Oh, come on!
You needed a proficiency in that, didn't you?
Yeah,
No,
technically
I
should
don't
be-
have any proficiency. Oh, I
Athletics you
do.
I
Was
I'm
doing
gonna say
resilience for some reason.
Well, you rolled it. I'm going to say it's too
Yeah.
late.
Yeah, I rolled it.
So, because you failed, you suffer 4 strain, but you also got 4 advantage, so you can immediately recover all that strain if you want, or you can get
Success.
boosted.
Yeah,
You
Allies.
need this. You need. Yeah. No.
yeah, I can't go
We're
into
gonna
battle
fail
on
anyway. So
8
yeah, just
strain.
So the other 2 of you would like to make these average athletics checks, please, to go for a nice jog down the tunnel. As you're jogging, you can hear like warnings: Imperial walkers spotted at the end of the canyon. Imperial walkers. You know, it's like Hoth, but canyon.
That guy sounds super congested. He's probably the guy from the sick bay.
Okay, so you take 4 strain as well.
I'm gonna pass on. I can handle the strain. I'm gonna pass on this to next person. Just follow my footsteps and don't trip where I trip.
Okay, so
Alright,
the
sir.
only person who doesn't is Aaron somehow. He takes 2 strain because of the 2 threat. It's still pretty exerting for him. He's not really used to running. He's more of a
Give
get other
someone I
people
can
to do
shoot
running
and
for
that's
him
better.
kind of guy. You're
Excuse
about a
me.
third.
I was born poor. If you look at my character sheet, I'm not from a rich background.
Every few hundred feet as well, there are open air lookout points where you can see Rust and Dust squadrons, which are the 2 squadrons engaging the TIE bombers, trying to chase them away. There are also reinforced fire points where soldiers are armed with blaster rifles, grenades, and a few anti-infantry batteries to try and combat the Imperials. It won't do very much against the AT-ATs, though. You're about a third of the way there when a pile of rocks rains down, destroying a nearby laser cannon and sending rebels running for cover. The destruction's minimal, but shows what can happen if the tunnels are not evacuated quickly. You hear a bunch of low moans coming from the rubble, and soldiers are scrambling to the area. There are people still alive under here! Quick, we need help!
Cross dives in and starts tossing rocks to the side.
Okay, that's going to be a hard athletics check.
Remember that proficiency, yeah.
If you feel like, does Pad want to do anything to help here?
I can try my hardest to help out with this, but what I was going to plan on doing was handing out some stim packs.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I can assist you. That's not necessarily.
So
like
what
something that I
you
do
can
at the
try
same
and
time.
you can try and convince some additional rebels to help right now.
Okay,
To help.
that's like a leadership check, right?
Yeah, average leadership check
Gotcha.
before
I'll do
the
that
athletics
roll.
check.
Oh, before it. Okay, I will
Yeah,
do that.
because
before.
you'll give. You can upgrade ability and stuff. I don't think you have a boost, do you? No.
So I yell out to the nearby soldiers, "Help out your fellow troops!"
Yep. Okay, one success, one advantage, one triumph.
Nice.
Brilliant. So, I mean, obviously, so the typical result from a leadership check, if you have a triumph, is to upgrade your ally's check. So how would you like to describe what happens here?
So my voice carries through the tunnel. The kind of like collapsed boulders help kind of like boost my voice like a megaphone.
Yeah.
It brings over like 5 extra people to help out, pick out some of this rubble. We're going to manage to basically get everybody out unscathed, hopefully with this next athletics check.
Okay, cool. So yeah, if you could make the hard athletics check, and you get an extra upgrade. And there was one advantage there. What do you want to do with that? You could recover a strain. That might be a good thing to do.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and recover strain here.
Tritone takes one strain.
Puns.
Does that
puns
look
are
right?
happening.
Rubble scum.
Oh, yes, that's the correct roll. Go on, Wookiee strength. Save these men. Excellent. With all those success, you managed to pull all the rubble out. One of the survivors is uncovered. He's badly wounded and needs immediate medical attention. The second survivor managed to hide himself under the laser cannon. He climbs out, grabs his rifle, and immediately runs off to the next hardpoint, saluting as he goes.
There goes a
if you
true
want to,
patriot.
if you want to stabilize the injured survivor, you're going to need to make someone's going to need to make a hard medicine check. But there are 2 advantage there. If
Could I use that advantage to make the medicine check a little easier?
Sure, yeah. So you can add. Basically, he's not as injured.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, crush as he drags the guy out immediately puts pressure on the wound.
Yep,
Could I-
excellent.
Is anyone higher than 3 ability for medicine?
No.
But is there something that I could do to possibly call for a medic as well?
You don't think there are basically?
Okay, it's just
there's not enough time for a medic to get here. He needs to be stabilized right now with this medicine check.
1 boost or 1 boost?
One
right?
boost, yeah.
All right, this one goes here. That one goes. Yeah, I think I got
Just
it.
barely got him. Yep, you managed to grab out his grab out a field dressing kit that the soldier had on him and keep him in one piece as a couple of troopers run up with a stretcher.
All right, you take him, get him good care. This is a true hero.
Yes, sir. They salute and head off.
I don't fucking know what that guy
As
knows.
you-
I'll just assume he was a hero.
As
No
you
wise
move
words.
further into as you move further into the tunnels, jogging along towards the canyon location, a Durananok comes out from one of the side tunnels and roars. It's nearly 3 meters tall. It looks a lot scarier in person than it looks in from a ship. It's got thick scales, spines along their back, and a keen sense of smell from their forked tongues. So if you could roll vigilance, because it is angry. It is very angry that everyone is here.
1 success, 2 advantage.
Just
Okay.
to kind of add insult to injury, isn't there a specific rule around the amount of silhouette change between a human and something else that instills fear?
There is not. This particular creature is not fearsome enough to instill fear,
Okay.
especially since you've already fought them once.
2 success.
Yeah. So we've had 1 success, 1 advantage, 2 success, and finally we have
Oh my gosh. 2 success.
2 success, 1 advantage. Pretty good. That's 1 success, 2 advantage actually for Crush, isn't it? And finally, this creature has vigilance 3, so it rolls. It's not very smart.
Oh
And it
my
rolls
gosh.
3 success, so it goes first. PC. There's only 1, so it can't be that bad, right? So it has. Okay, let me grab. It basically bursts out at short range, so it's still going to have to take a maneuver to run towards you, and it's probably going to attack Crush because he looks the most, he looks the scariest, and it's just a creature. So I think I put an appropriate. Did I grab something appropriate for it? I'm just going to grab another Nexu, I suppose.
So before I do this, Bodyguard
Let's
would
go to
cause
Walter.
it to attack me, correct? My specialization.
That's basically taunt.
Okay, so it would attack me with extra difficulty. Gotcha.
I believe so. Unless, if you choose to make the Bodyguard maneuver.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me find an appropriate rough background for this. So this is going to be the tunnel. Whoa, that's bigger than I thought it was. As always, it was bigger than I thought. Okay, let's shrink that down just a little bit. Okay.
Not sure what that was.
Okay, so there. I like how tiny. So let's shrink.
I'm ready for action.
And there is your rebel officer, by the way. Okay, so it roars and shrieks and comes in to attack our Wookiee friend.
How
who
can I
has
scale
an
this down?
insane-
Right
Never mind.
click. Yeah.
I just use the plus and minus on the keyboard. That also works. And let me just lock the base in position.
Please.
I'm even
So you
smaller.
guys stop messing with it. So it has. Oh boy. Da, 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 da. And it's average. So
That's 4.
you have
3.
4 ranged
yeah.
4 melee defense, Crush, right? Do you want to take
Yeah.
any other? So there is the.
Defensive stance, I think, is on him as well.
Yeah, that's a
From-
maneuver, so he doesn't have time
Yeah.
to make that.
Yeah.
Okay, so it strides up with flapping its wings in the confines of the cavern, and swings its claws at our Wookiee friend. Oh
my
God!
gosh.
Jesus Christ!
Okay, well, we're done.
He'll be fine. No, he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
He's complete. So that's 11 damage.
That's 11 damage without
Pierce
the
11 damage. Pierce 1.
Okay, so you're taking 4 damage.
Yep. Because you have 8 soak reduced to 7. 11 minus 7 is 4. So you take 4 wounds.
You're doing fine.
Yep.
Yeah,
Just a
this
scratch.
guy's amazing.
So what would you guys? So the triumph is he's going to try and do critical injury. So I'll roll that, and that is. Are they vicious? Sadly, no. 74. Okay, but you also have a bunch of talents which reduce the severity of crits, I believe. So let's just double
He
check.
does not have that unless you changed any of the stats.
I haven't changed anything.
Okay. He does not have those. I can.
No,
I
I
can go
have durable. May reduce
which is
any
reduced by 10.
by
Okay.
10.
Oh,
He has
I was
one
just
rank,
looking at the later ones.
so it's actually a 64. So that's a talent. So that's a 64,
Cool.
which is because but don't forget a Wookiee that's critically injured deals more damage.
Yes.
64, slightly dazed. You're disoriented until the end of the encounter.
Oh, goodness. Oh,
Sorry, I just dropped it in. There we go. So disoriented, I believe, adds...
is that an upgrade or is that a...
I believe it's setback. Additional combat modifiers.
Need a cheat sheet for all these things.
Yeah, there kind of is a cheat sheet. I'm not sure if it actually... the cheat sheet, I'm not sure if it tells us actually what disoriented does.
Stunned is action, staggered's maneuver, and then disoriented is...
Setback?
I thought it was upgrade. Is either setback or upgrade.
I think it's weirdly enough in like... I think it's in wounds and states of health, I believe. Disoriented. Add setback to all checks. Okay, cool. Moving on. So you remember, let's put a little setback die by your character. Let's just put it there so that you remember to add setback to everything. Okay, so who wants to go first? Now that the horrific creature has tried to slash you to ribbons.
Can I shoot him?
Go for it.
Something my character
So
is
he's
finally good
engaged.
at?
He is engaged with your Wookiee friend. There's a chance you will hit your Wookiee friend.
There is not a chance I will hit anything except for what I intend to.
Okay, cool. So, do you want to step back to short range, presumably, or you're at short range? So if you could make a easy range light check, upgraded once. Also with one setback because of its range defense, because it has Sith spawn scales.
So it's from difficult to challenge for the upgrade and the setback?
One setback, yep, that's everything, yep. Okay, one success, 3 advantage. So how much damage is that?
So
11, I believe, right?
My pistol brings all the damage to the thing, because they're like, let's see.
Mm-hmm.
I got 1 advantage added for another damage, right? It's damage 10 plus additional advantage or success?
Let me just... you get automatic +1 advantage, so you actually have 1 success, 4 advantage.
Yeah.
So that's what you have. That's your result. So how much? That's 11 damage, I believe, right?
Okay,
because you have
yeah.
10 plus 1. So it's 11.
Yeah.
Soak. And then you deal a crit if you choose to. You can either. So currently you're doing a crit plus 40. You can do a crit plus 50 if you want.
I want to do that.
Okay. And then if you're lucky, it gets a better result than crippled. Otherwise, it's crippled. So actually, it may not even be... Well, no, there's a good chance that you'll get a better result than crippled. So carry on.
No, I don't.
Okay, so you cripple... Which limb do you want to have crippled on the creature?
Whichever... It just smacked our boy here, right?
So it's right arm.
Yeah.
So it can only use its left arm with its claws now. Cool.
Teach you to do this to our friends.
So it's going to increase the difficulty of its attacks by... Increase the difficulty of its attacks by 1, basically, because it's severely injured its arm. Okay, who wants to go next?
I think Cross should go next.
Swing at it.
Oh, yeah.
So you're going to use your vibro sword?
Yes. I mean, that's, as far as I know, all I have. So.
Well, you also have a force pike that you could whip out if you wanted to.
I was not aware of that.
It would take an extra maneuver to actually drop your riot shield and your
yeah, I'll just stick with
vibro
this.
sword to get it.
So yeah, it's going to take a maneuver to draw your vibro sword and attack. So if you could roll...
What was the difficulty?
Average. And then there's 1 setback because it has melee defense.
And that's not upgraded, right?
Correct. That's the difficulty. Yep. RIP creature. 2 success. So how much damage does your ridiculous...
Let's see. Base of 8 plus 2 for the success, plus 2 for the being critted. So
12?
12. Yeah.
Okay. You deal so the pierce doesn't matter against this creature, but your vibro sword still slices into its flesh. It screeches, grabs its crippled arm, and just tries to limp away down the corridor. Do you want to pursue it, Pa, or are you gonna just let it go?
It's not doing any more harm to us.
Sorry.
It's close enough. It's not doing any more harm to us. We just need to get out of here.
Okay.
I'm gonna yell to our other troops that we've successfully vanquished this beast, hopefully to boost their morale
There's
a
some
little
cheering,
bit.
like, "Ah, woo, go team!"
Onward, troops!
When the Empire sees what we have done this day, they will cower in fear and run away.
Definitely. And now it's time for the ebb and flow of battle. So let's see. Okay. You didn't share any findings with the base's command structure, so there's no extra boost there. So the commander makes it this.
Our findings are basically there's Imperials here.
Heavily fortified. The difficulty is only this, because not all the Imperial forces has been deployed, but the base ability dice for the check are based on relative numbers. So relative skill of the units that are there. So Alliance Infantry are 2 ability dice, but the command skill of Ran Neil increases that to the 2 yellow and a green. And then on the Imperial side, they have enough quality that from their vehicles that they have 3 difficulty, and then their general upgrades appropriately. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, a triumph and a despair. My God. Okay, so I'll let you guys know what you can do with the triumph in a second. Let me just have a look. But technically this was a 1 success, so the rebels are winning.
Hooray.
You're just about managing to hold them off. You're fighting harder, fighting longer. They're driving back the Imperial Vanguard. They're holding them at bay. All rebels, including you guys, adds boost to discipline checks until the end of the episode, because you're currently winning. So boost to discipline.
Do you want to give? I'm gonna drop a boost next to our player so we can remember that.
Yep. Specifically to discipline checks.
Specifically to discipline, gotcha.
Yes.
The encounter's over for that specific setback, correct? As well,
yes.
the slightly dazed.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
You can
So,
take off,
Krosh has shaken it off. So the rebels, you haven't lost any laser cannon emplacements, and only 2 fighters have been lost from the Starfighter squadrons. You hear blaster fire, you hear cheering down the corridor. It sounds like one of the Imperial landing craft was destroyed before it could drop off all its troops. Okay, so Triumph. You can spend Triumph in mass combat on either the attack by the acting unit reveals a weakness, add boost to the next check. All characters acting with the active unit can recover 1 strain, or you can notice an enemy commander on the battlefield in his position. A previously unseen geographical feature affords the acting unit some cover and allows them to downgrade the difficulty of the next check. You can disable an important piece of enemy hardware, destroying a heavy weapon or piece of equipment that provided the enemy forces an advantage. You may upgrade 1 die on the next check, as the leader calls for a concentrated strike. Overwhelmed by the ferocity of the acting unit's attack, or defense in this case, the enemy unit is close to abandoning its post. On the next check, any despair generated causes the unit to abandon its post and run. So what kind of thing do you guys want the rebels want to happen to the Empire in this scenario, do you think?
We know that there's some heavy vehicles or some vehicles out there. We could use it to help damage some of those vehicles.
Okay. So heavy weapon or piece of equipment that provided the enemy forces an advantage. Let me just double check what advantage. Fully deployed. One or both Vanguard ATSTs. So I'm happy to count it as destroying a light walker. So one of your allies got a lucky shot and destroyed an ATST as it was disembarking from a transport.
Yay, an ATST.
So okay, so the despair. As you're running down the corridor, a blast hits. A blast from an AT-AT smashes into the rock. Some rocks fall and hit Oren on the head, and he suffers a critical injury.
Oh no.
That's the despair.
Oh,
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
86. Oh god. You're compromised. Oh, for goodness sake! I wish it would stop
why does
doing
it
that.
do that? Yeah.
I don't know. It just it's the like hidden regions aren't set up properly.
Yeah.
You increase the difficulty of all skill checks by 1 until the end of the encounter.
God, at the end of the encounter.
Okay, so
That's
there's no
basically
real.
the end of the session, right?
Yeah,
Or-
the end of the battle, basically. Yeah. So
Oh my
I will
God.
say it is until the end of the next phase of battle. This was the
Okay.
first phase of battle. So until the end of the next phase, increase the difficulty by 1. Okay, you also had 1 advantage. The 1 advantage you can use to add a boost to the next mass combat check. All characters, all of you can recover 1 strain, or you can notice an enemy commander and his position. With the 1 advantage, what would you like to do?
I
Let's
think
notice
boost
an
for the
enemy
next-
commander.
oh, really?
You want to do the boost?
Well,
Yeah.
we've got our
What-
goal regardless. What are we gonna
I made the decision last time, so I made the decision last time. So
Because really, a boost is a boost, and
Okay.
we're doing our mission, so it's not going to help us too much if we notice the commander, unless we go back and tell our command that the. Because we're probably still getting jammed, right? So we can't just like calm it in.
Yeah, it's very difficult to. The communications are very difficult right now. You
Yeah,
literally
so
have to
we're-
send runners.
We're best off.
That's
just
why
doing
you're having to
boost.
run. So
Yeah, I agree with that.
okay, so 1 boost for phase 2
It's
mass
your boy
combat.
Scarecrow.
Excellent.
Thanks for the resub.
Phase 2, payback time. The AT-ATs strafe the canyon walls with laser fire, hoping to drive out any hidden rebels. They fire randomly, ginning up chaos and fear as well as damage, as Oren found out. As the walkers advance from weapon installations along the canyon walls, pummel them. These batteries have very little impact on the heavy armor of the AT-ATs, but they do seem to damage the AT-STs. So after defeating the Dorananok, you're moving further down the canyon, and you come perilously close to another AT-AT laser cannon barrage. So could you all make an average coordination check?
Coordination. That'd be hard for me. Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. Bullet dodged. Bullet not dodged. You take 2 strain and 2 wounds.
Oh.
So
Ow!
I'm going to say this is the rock fall that also caused your critical. Because that makes dramatic sense. So the rocks fall, you become compromised, you can't dodge out of the way in time, and you take a severe injury.
God damn, my head!
And this is Pad. Let's see if he gets out of the way. And 1 success, 1 advantage. Excellent.
Could I point out to the nearby soldiers that their fire on the AT-AT is not effective? Keep firing or focus fire on the AT-STs.
Well, the sad thing is there aren't any rebel soldiers nearby.
Oh.
In fact, instead, there are a couple of anti-vehicle laser cannons and 2 anti-infantry laser cannons within about 100 feet of each other that still seem to be working, but the rebel soldiers there have all been killed. And there's a corpse of a Dorananok nearby, so it looks like another Dorananok woke up and unfortunately dealt with these rebels. But there are some laser cannons there if you want to try and use them. From your vantage point, you can see 2 Vanguard AT-ST walkers moving up the canyon, followed by AT-ATs behind. and you can't tell what's happening behind the AT-ATs, but there's one less AT-ST there than there was before. So anyway, if you would like to, if you want to take control of the laser cannons, feel free. I'm going to allow, basically, you can take one shot with the laser cannons before the AT-STs notice you.
What skill is
these
that?
Gunnery or
That's
range?
Gunnery.
Gunnery. Gotcha.
Gunnery, yeah. The anti-vehicle laser cannon uses vehicle scale weapons. The anti-infantry laser cannon uses personal scale weapons, just to be confusing. But it does enough damage that it'll damage vehicles, at least a little bit.
Which one does the most damage?
The anti-vehicle laser cannon, there's two
Okay.
of them.
I'll take that one since I have slightly more gunnery.
Is anyone else? Is someone going to jump on the other one?
Crush.
Might as well.
I ain't gonna be very much help
Okay.
here.
Okay, so if you could both make the AT-STs are at short range, which is just within range of the laser cannon. So if you could both make, because the AT-STs are too larger, it's an easy check to hit them. They have no range defense.
Oh my gosh.
1 failure, 3 advantage. So you miss. The shot blasts into the floor next to one of the AT-STs, and it kind of lifts its leg and turns to look up at the laser cannons.
Could I use the advantage to kind of kick up some extra dust so it's not like they can actually see through it just yet? It's giving
Okay,
us enough
sure.
visual cover.
Yeah, so you've got some cover. Cool.
But it still allows for this other fire to come through.
Sure. Okay. So let's see if Crush gets a hit in. Ooh, 3 success.
Holy
That's 9 damage against the AT-ST.
All right.
And then we're going to roll initiative again. Goodness. AT-ST 1, AT-ST 2. I assume you both fired at the same AT-ST for.
Yeah.
So that's, you dealt what? You got 3 success, right? Yep. So that was 9 damage because it's a damage 6 weapon. You deal 6. So you deal a pretty solid blow to the AT-ST. You can see a big blaster scorch on its armor plate. And if everybody could roll their... you guys can roll cool because you ambushed them, and you add a boost because the element's a surprise.
Can I still roll vigilance?
No. You're ambushing them, basically, so it's cool.
I'll
So
take
that
it.
is... wow, okay. And Pad actually has pretty decent cool. You get a boost as well, Pad.
Okay.
Element of surprise. And yeah, the smoke cloud you kicked up will give you cover for the first round.
Nice.
3 success. Jeez. You're going to get the first shot off, I think. And, if one of your guys
for
gets...
the shot.
Well, there's no difficulty here, which helps.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Oren, do you want to be involved at all, or...
I'm just gonna try to keep watch on the tunnels. I'm not gonna get
Okay.
involved in this vehicle shootout.
Sure. So then the AT-STs are going to roll their vigilance, which is just average. One success, 2 advantage. And we have told you there'll be a lot of combat. 1 success, 2 advantage. So luckily, it's you guys first. And then the AT-STs act. Okay. So who wants to shoot first? And ask questions later?
You've been
I was
rolling the
better
hot
gunnery.
hand. You've been rolling the hot hand. I want to see more successes here.
Do you want to do
All right.
an upgrade for this shot, Inertial? I get behind a Destiny
Sure.
point usage here.
Cool.
You have the confidence of your previous shot.
Can I aim with this thing, or is that
Yeah, you
not?
can totally aim. Yeah, you can always aim with any weapon.
It was an easy check.
Yes, because they are 2 silhouette larger.
Nice.
Oh
Oh,
yes,
one success, one advantage, one triumph. So that's, are you shooting at the one you already damaged?
yes. That seems to be the sensible thing to do.
So that's 7 damage. That's 4. So you deal a solid hit, and obviously you can deal a critical damage to the vehicle if you like. A critical hit, I should say.
Okay.
So if you want to roll the crit,
We can. Okay, yeah.
65. Pretty nice. Let's see what. Oh god, I've got to do this. Give me a sec. It's going to create loads of them. Isn't it? Hello? There they are. Right.
There.
Okay. Just because it's the. Yeah, it's the only way to get them out of the stupid box. So it was a, what, 65? Let's see what 65 is. Navicomputer failure. Or R2 unit. The navigation, it's unable to tell where it's going. Like, you basically blast the, you destroy the navigation computer on the,
On the walker with a large viewport.
No, I mean, it closes the viewports as well. It just smashes the viewport. Like, he melts the front of the ATST, basically, I think, with this laser cannon blast.
Nice.
So they can't see where they're going. So they're going to add like 3 setback to shoot because they can't see anything. Okay, and then Pat, if you want to take your shot. Sorry?
What's it take to get unmount from the turret? Is that just a maneuver?
Just a maneuver.
Okay.
So
I'm not going to do that yet, so go ahead.
If you need to dive for cover at any point.
What are you going to do with that advantage?
Oh, boost. Boost is good. Howl of Triumph gives you the...
I think you used the triumph for the crit, right?
Yes. Sorry. Krosh is howling in triumph.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay. Let's see how our 3 eyes. Excellent shot. Oh, there we go. Another excellent hit. That's another 8 damage.
I realized that, just for some story here, I realized that these guns are built for people with 2 eyes, so I closed my middle eye, and it seems
Yeah, I'm going to assume it's like a P-Tower on Hoth, the disc-shaped one.
Yeah.
So yeah, with 2 success, you take the ATST is nearly it's so close to falling over. It's kind of ridiculous how severely damaged this ATST is. You got 2 advantage. What would you like 2 advantage to do?
This 2 advantage, could I have? Well, I don't know if this is necessary. So could I have some extra like rubble impede? Like I kind of shoot it. It hits, like, grazes past them a little bit for, like, one of the shots or something like that. Grazes past, generates a bunch of rubble to impede some more Imperial stormtroopers behind them.
There are currently no stormtroopers. They're all in their walkers.
They're all in their walkers, okay.
Yeah,
so could I create...
much.
Could I create something to, like, slow them down? Like, rubble would make these walkers, since they're, like, bipedal, it'd make them difficult to kind of...
Yeah, it would, like, give a boost to the mass combat check. Basically, slow them down a bit. That sounds good. Plus 2 boosts to the phase 2 mass combat check. Okay, so the severely damaged ATST, they can't see where they're going, and the ATST is nearly completely broken. So it looks like, from what your guys see, they look like they're trying to turn it around and head back towards friendly troops, but they end up just kind of going around in a circle and walking into a canyon wall. The other ATST, however, has noticed you guys and takes a shot at the laser cannon that so it takes a maneuver to move up to close range and takes a shot at the laser cannon that Krosh is on, because that's the one that's been dealing the most damage and is clearly being shot by the most skillful pilot. So gunnery 2, so that is... And you are, however, hard, and there is also setback from the cover you guys have. So yeah, if this hits, the cannon is destroyed. Yes. Okay. So they deal. So they're using the chin-mounted twin heavy blaster cannons, and that dealt 7 damage, which destroys the cannon, just completely destroys the cannon. I'm going to say the 4 threat means they don't actually. You managed to dive out of the way completely safely, Krosh.
I'm happy with that.
You take no injuries despite you see the shot come in, you dive out of the way, the cannon explodes, dust falls down. Yeah, so they succeed with that. Next round. So there's only 1 turret left operational. Do you want to take a shot on the operable ATST, or do you
I'll
want
take
to
a
get out
shot.
of here? Okay.
We have no, we don't have enough opportunity to like really maneuver our way out of there after the shot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just disengage at this point.
Okay. You're all going to disengage. As
Yeah,
you
we're
move
gonna-
away
Yeah.
from the turret, you hear more blasts hit the turret you were on, and it explodes into a shower of sparks, much like the one that Krosh was manning. So it's a good job you weren't holding on to it. So we head into the next phase of battle here. The Rebels dice pool holding steady. You guys are adding 2 boost, but you got also the Rebels haven't been completely overrun, so there's another boost from the fortifications. You guys have taken down sufficient Imperial forces that they are simply rolling 2 challenge dice. Oh, sorry, not 2 challenge. Sorry, 2 challenge dice. So it's basically they're making the same roll. Usually they would have had more forces landed, and it would have been a much more difficult check. But for now, let's see how the Rebels do. Oh dear, another despair. Oh no.
no! Boost, you have
Oh,
failed
dear.
us.
Oh dear.
Super boosted.
So, due to the continuing communications jamming that's going on, Ran Neal is unable to efficiently command your troops. So the next combat check ability is downgraded once. Okay. Pretty much all of the laser cannon emplacements you can see along the canyon are destroyed by AT-ATs, and there are only a few remaining at the hangar. You can see above the battle in the skies. You notice even more rebel fighters go down, and there's now also a setback to discipline checks until the end of the episode. And 1 setback is now added to the next mass combat dice pool. However, there are also 3 advantage.
Is the setback getting rid of the boost that we had earlier?
No, because setback and boost you can have the same. You can have them both at the same time. They never cancel each other. Much like triumph and despair don't cancel.
So just for future reference, these effects actually stay throughout the whole phase of the battle, or all
They
phases.
stay through they stay until the end of the
Gotcha.
battle.
Gotcha.
Am I no
So
longer
you'll-
compromised?
Yes, so you're no longer compromised. You still have the crit, but you're no longer taking the skill penalty. So you've just recovered just barely enough. So the Rebels got 3 advantage. So there's another option. So you can basically get another upgrade on the next check. So you can get an upgrade on the next check that will cancel out the downgrade, basically, from the despair. So that effectively cancels the despair. You can disable another important piece of enemy hardware, which I would allow. That would essentially remove that set. That would probably just keep the Imperial difficulty as is. Or again, you can recover strain, that kind of thing.
Want to take out an ATST, guys?
Yeah. So we'll
Yeah,
have
that sounds good to me.
basically the same roll from them. Yeah.
Okay. So finally, another ATST is destroyed by one of the laser cannons back at the base hangar. And now there's only 1 functional ATST remaining to escort the AT-ATs to the base. So that's a pretty big problem for the Empire.
You said there's 1 ATST escorting?
That's the only one that's left. Yeah, you destroyed one. Sorry, you destroyed one in the previous mass combat round. You destroyed another one this round using the turrets. And now another one's been destroyed. There were 4 total. Now there's only 1.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So we head into phase 3. The implacable advance of the AT-ATs continues, with blaster bolts bouncing harmlessly from their armor. The rebel soldiers continue to concentrate their fire against the attackers, hoping to draw them in as close as possible, but they need a miracle to keep holding on. So you're fighting your way through the tunnels, and you finally reach the point on your map where the charges should be set. There's a long bridge of red sandstone spanning both sides of the canyon you can see on the map, which is currently, phase 3 over here. You're at phase 3, yep. It's the rebels' best chance to choke the canyon and block the incoming assault, at least for a while. There's a locked metal cabinet mounted on the tunnel wall, and it contains the detonator. There's red dust from the battle, which has jammed the electronic console, so you can't input the access code on the datapad. So you can either break it open. So how would you like to break it open, basically?
Krosh is going to just try to rip it open.
Okay, average athletics check. I'm going to upgrade this so it's 1 red, 1 purple. 1 difficulty, 1 challenge. But I think Krosh probably has this. Probably. Okay, you take a bit of strain. It's a bit more stiff than you thought it was, and the time crunch is really getting to you. And you pry the cabinet open. So inside, there's a bunch of detonator cables. And to set the manual detonator is either going to be an average mechanics check or a hard cool check. So you're going to add a setback because you helped rebels in both you add 2 setback to this check because you helped rebels in both phases. So you don't have as much time.
You said hard, cool, average mechanics?
Yes, those are the 2 options. And there's going to say 2 set. So let me so currently.
Well, that's 2 things I'm awful at, so.
Okay. I could do it at hard cool. I have a way to remove a setback as well.
That's probably our best bet then.
Sounds good to me. And you get 1 boost because you managed to get back quickly enough in the speeders. So then it's going to be hard for cool.
Could Krosh provide an additional boost doing a Chewbacca thing that, like on the Falcon? Just poking at the wires, trying to,
Sure. Honestly, that's the kind of thing a Wookiee does. That's just how Wookiees work. So go ahead.
That's racist.
It's one of those benevolent stereotypes. Oh my god, okay. So each failure is going to add a threat on the next check. So
okay.
So we're going. So you haven't. You can keep trying, but next check has an automatic threat.
Okay.
Every threat. So let me just make a.
Yeah.
I just need to make. Come on. Make a tally of it. Okay. So basically, you can just keep making the same check until you succeed, but every time it's getting slightly harder. Okay, 1 success, 1 threat net.
Yep.
The explosion tosses a massive cloud of dust into the air around the bridge, blinding you. You suffer setback on all checks relying on sight until the end of the combat phase, and everyone without environmental protection must make an easy resilience check.
So I have, with the Gran, I have the ability to remove up to 2 setback imposed due to environmental conditions or concealment. Would that negate the setback that I would have gotten from the dust?
Yes, but you still need to make the resilience check.
Yeah.
This is my resilience check.
Okay, cool. Okay, so Krosh goes first. Succeeds with 1 advantage. So, Krosh, you managed to cover your eyes and your mouth from all the dust that gets pushed up, and you have an advantage. What would you like that advantage to do?
I don't see anything else to do with it other than to pass a boost along. Although I'm not sure how to do that.
Cover his eyes.
Yeah, I mean, basically, one of your paws comes out and slaps in front of someone else's face, whoever's rolling next.
I
Yeah, all
already
right.
failed. So it's just
You only
left.
catch one of my eyes. I'm going to use this advantage to help us find a clearing to make it a little bit easier as we run through this next to the next area.
Okay, cool. So you'll add a boost to the next check. Oren, you suffer 3 strain as the choking dust gets in your eyes and mouth.
Oh.
Yep, basically. And then actually, because you rolled a threat, you suffer an additional strain. You just basically stood there and just got a face full of it because you wanted to watch the fireworks.
Oh.
With a deafening blast, the rock arch explodes and crashes down, destroying 3 of the AT-ATs immediately and crippling a 4th. The rebels concentrate all fire on the crippled walker, hoping to impact its weakened armor, and after a round of shooting, a catastrophic explosion erupts from where the AT-AT used to be. Okay, let's see what the mass combat ends up being for this phase. So that is... So usually it would be this.
We remove 1.
Downgrade 1. There's 1 setback. And the difficulty... So the Imperial forces have been crippled by the blast of the canyon, so it goes down to this.
And we
Because
stop
you
them
guys-
from the additional upgrade that they would have gotten. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay.
Gosh.
Unfortunately, the defenses have been completely shattered, and there's massive casualties across the entire base. Dust and rust squadrons, you notice, are heading back towards the transports at the base, and you can see some of them are gouting flame, and the strength of the rebels has been decreased by 1 step.
Bob's trying to Rogue One us, isn't he?
Yeah.
As the detonations reverberate through the canyon, a cheer erupts from the Alliance soldiers as half of the AT-ATs fall under the hundreds of tons of rock raining down upon them. With the way barred for the remaining walkers, the Imperial forces have no choice but to unleash their next wave in the attack. 2 platoons of sand troopers pour forth and enter the battle. So as you look down you can't see from your vantage point, actually, because of all the dust that it kicked up. You can't see a damn thing.
Everything looks normal down there. We should probably head back to the base. See if we can help with the evac.
Or is it more like the Clone Wars where you see a bunch of fire?
Yeah, you start to see flashes
lasers
through you start to see laser flashes through the dust as you all run back toward. There are no cannons available to help, unfortunately. The range you have isn't you can't. None of you have weapons that are long range enough to hit any of the troopers from where you are. So you have
Crush
to
has a
rush back.
sword.
That's nice, dear.
Otherwise, you have to rush back to the hangar as the Imperial platoon pushes forward in the final phase here. So that's been reduced to that. The rebels are in full evacuation mode, which adds a setback. The Imperial set is still this, because you dealt significant blows to the Imperial forces. They have no AT-ST support. The AT-STs could make it past the rubble, unlike the AT-ATs, but they're nimble enough. But here we go. We'll see how well this goes for the rebels. And unfortunately, again, it's a failure. Oh dear. The full force of the Imperial Navy has been borne out on Arda base, and there's fewer rebel forces left to defend against the incoming sand trooper platoons. So you're going to be fighting more when you get back to the base. You just see blaster fires as the sand troopers push their way through, supported by a lone AT-ST. The 2 threat means that... is there many more mass combat? I don't think so. There is 1 more mass combat. Is there? No, I don't. Actually, there shouldn't be. No. Okay, there's no more mass combat. Now it's just evacuation. But basically, the 2 threat means all of you are going to suffer 2 strain each.
Oh, fuck.
Basically, just watching your comrades being gunned down, having to run through the dust and the smoke, watching the turrets explode, huge waves of stormtroopers pour in to the base. It's demoralizing, it's depressing, it's really bad for the morale. You're nearly at your strain threshold there, I notice.
They're
Yep.
both actually very close.
Yeah.
Excellent.
If either of my puns had resulted in strain tonight, it would have been lights out for. Actually, then I'd be one strain away from lights out.
Okay. Can we take a short break here as I prepare the final phase?
Yeah. So does 4 minutes sound good, or would you like more?
4 minutes should be fine.
All right. So we'll be back in 4 minutes to see how our characters die and how the Imperials kill everyone in the base. So, see you back here at 10:28, everyone.
Okay. in terms of cover, you can basically put the crates wherever you know, it's a narrative combat system. It's mostly there to just give a rough idea of relative range rather than anything else.
All right, we are back and ready to die. So we apparently made it back to the hangar. There are some stormtroopers or sandtroopers coming in, and it's time to get shot at. So take it away.
Yes. So if everybody could roll vigilance, the sandtroopers have blasted their way in through the main hangar entrance. They're coming in huge numbers. You've got troopers, allied troopers everywhere. You guys have come in at the back end of the hangar from one of the side tunnels, and you're all behind a pile of crates as a group of 9 sandtroopers and a commander menacingly makes their way towards you. So that was 3 success for one of the players there.
That was me.
Okay, next. That was 1 success, 5 advantage for our pal Pad. And then we have Crush, 1 advantage. Oh dear.
2 advantage.
Oh, 2 advantage. I'm terribly sorry. Glad you're reminding me. Now the stormtroopers.
It doesn't matter much, but it's there.
So the sergeant, well, captain actually, is going to roll. This is the captain of Talon Squadron, which is the platoon that's engaging you guys. That's 4 successes, 1 advantage. And then the sandtroopers themselves.
Is it a squadron or a platoon?
It's Talon Company.
Is it a company, a squadron, or a platoon?
It is so there are 2 platoons of 32 sandtroopers who are attacking the base. Okay? 9 of them have found you guys. They are currently being led by Captain Narol Balrek, a ruthless leader who commands Talon Company within the 84th Stormtrooper Legion.
We wouldn't know that, though.
He has like a marking on his armor.
I'm just trying to figure out how much I can antagonize the DM before the fight starts.
You really want to be shot, don't you?
He spray painted Balrek all across his chin.
He's that fierce, like he's well known. He's well known as the Butcher Balrek. Like literally, that's his name.
More like Balrag. I yell across.
You're the first one getting shot, 1 success, 1 advantage. And 2 success, 1 advantage. So, we start with an NPC, hurrah, followed by a player character, boo, followed by an NPC, hooray, followed by another NPC, followed by a PC, followed by an NPC, followed by a PC.
Are our boys all dead?
No, there are a bunch of other soldiers. So basically, you can imagine there is a cinematic firefight going on in the background as many rebel troopers engage. Wrong side.
Traitors!
They've defected!
Traitors!
So there's a firefight going on as groups of sandtroopers are engaging across the hangar. And they're coming in to attack. Okay, so... let me have a look. Wow, that's amazing. Abilities. Balrek's Butchery. As an incidental, the GM may spend a Darkside Destiny point for Balrek to gain Vicious +2 on all his weapons until the end of his turn.
What?
Okay.
That sounds like a good start. Alright. Balrek's Butchery activated. He gains Vicious +2. He says, "Come on, man, charge!" He runs forward into cover behind some crates. And he is going to throw a frag grenade at you guys from short range with Vicious 2. Now, you guys are all right next to each other, of course, so it's going to be great. It's okay. He's not as good at throwing frag grenades as he is at shooting a blaster rifle. You guys are in cover, so there's a setback. He's not going to aim, but you guys are at short range. I'm going to say he throws the grenade at Crush, because he's tall and he can see him over the barricade.
Of course.
And he hits, dealing, luckily for you, only 9 damage just to you, the blast of the grenade doesn't go off very well, and he takes a strain. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So he was rolling to attack Krosh.
Yes.
So shouldn't there have been some more setbacks on that?
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. That's like an extra what? So that should be 3 total.
Brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, would you look at that? He did more damage. So that's 10 damage, no threat.
Which means
That's
you take 2.
The frag grenade explodes at your feet and you go, eh?
You can use my ball rag line if you like. I don't recommend it. It wasn't very good, but it's there.
Okay, next. So player character.
Krosh
Who wants
is
to
gonna
go?
pass.
Who wants to go?
I think Krosh should get out there and start hitting things.
Okay, so the stormtroopers. These stormtroopers are at medium range. The captain is at short range, behind cover.
Okay. Is that going to take 2 movements to get up to him?
It'll take 1 maneuver to get to the captain.
And then another maneuver to get to go engaged.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I hate doing that since I'm so low on strain, but
Okay. And then if you want to attack, he technically does not have adversary, so you'll have a great time. Have fun.
Oh man.
sure,
So it's
yeah.
just average, just an average melee check. No aim, of course,
Yeah.
because you've already taken 2 maneuvers. So yeah, roll it. Oh, you miss.
Are you kidding?
You miss. You swing. He dodges out of the way. You have 5 advantage.
Okay, that's
I
a
suggest
lot of
looking-
advantage.
I'd say look at the cheat sheet for some additional suggestions.
Defensive bonus from cover is 3 advantage.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, so you can destroy his cover until the end of the round.
You could also perform. Well, oh yeah, you already did 2 maneuvers.
You can make him drop. You
Um,
can make him drop a weapon.
Ooh.
You can notice a single important point in the ongoing conflict.
Give us something. Well,
You can recover a lot of strain.
yes.
Oh,
That's not even a bad idea.
Okay, yeah. How many does it take to notice something important?
Just 1. It depends how important you want it to be.
Okay, I'm going to use 1 to notice something important and then recover strain with the...
You notice to one side, near where your allies are, there's a crate. There is a crate of 4 frag grenades and an anti-personnel mine. There's basically a munitions crate next to your allies that you can point out to them.
Yeah, Krosh yodels at them about the crate
And the stormtroopers have no idea because they don't speak Wookiee.
because they're racist.
Yeah.
What kind of weapon would that be?
It's ranged light.
It's ranged light.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's all you, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I might be able to do something a little bit useful in this game.
Grenades aren't built for these girthy grand fingers.
Okay, so the next group, a group of stormtroopers, sandtroopers, moves up to some cover at the side of the hangar, and basically Barak says, "Don't worry about me, man. Just deal with those behind cover." And those 3 take a shot at our Gran. You have no range defense, right?
Could I take a sidestep, or is that something I have to take during my
Is
turn?
sidestep incidental?
It is not. It is a maneuver.
Then you have to take it during your turn.
Gotcha.
So they move. They take their maneuver to move to cover. They're still at medium range, so still average. They actually have, obviously, ranged heavy is a skill. There are 3 of them, so it's that with a heavy blaster rifle. Well, just a blaster rifle.
Oh no.
So that is You
Oh,
take 13 damage.
Oh no.
13 damage, and they have 2 threat, so they're going to roll a crit on you, so let's work out what that is first. That's only a 39. Let's see what
Okay.
that is. 39 is Stinger. Oh, for goodness sake, not again. Stinger. Increase difficulty of next check by 1. So you have a Stinger, and what would you like their 2 threat to do to them?
Could I have the detonation? It kicked up all this dust. Let's say there's like a bunch of wind that kicks it back in, and like where they're starting to come in, there's a lot of extra dust, so it's kind of decreasing their vision.
Okay. Adds an extra setback, so it basically counts as like low light
Sure.
conditions. Cool. Sounds good. And then another group draws their... This group back here is going to move into there's some crates over here now. They move into cover over to this side and take a shot at Oren.
1 defense,
Oh,
I believe,
shit.
but that's...
I believe. Where's
You
my-
cannot get hit. You just can't get hit.
Well, if he gets hit, it's a bad time. You know, it's a bad time.
I'm supposed to do the shooting.
So that's 10 damage.
Take 8 of them.
Oh, sorry. There should also be an additional setback die. Let me just
Oh,
pick one
shit.
out and roll it. It's blank. Okay, cool. So the dust kicked up didn't make any difference in this particular case, but it might make a difference for the next stormtrooper. So yeah, so that's 10 damage minus your 2 soaks. That's 8 wounds,
It is.
or 10 wounds. You're at 10 out of 12 now, I believe. Yeah,
I am.
cool. You have stim packs, though, right? They had 1 threat. What would you
I
like
do
their
not.
1 threat to do to them?
You
So if you look at the
Yeah,
the
the sheet
cheat
has
sheet,
it.
you can basically invert it. You can invert the advantage to threat.
I want them to
treat it as
forget
though
something
you've got-
important about the battlefield.
Okay, not quite that. Not quite that special.
I just
could
want him
say,
to
like-
be very afraid of this intimidating Wookiee, and next time they try to attack him, it's a setback.
Sounds good. Okay, no problem. Okay, so that's 2 groups of NPCs go. Next player character.
You want to throw a grenade?
I'm gonna listen to our Wookiee buddy, reach into this little container in front of me, and yank out some
Maneuver.
frags. Yep.
Okay, you pick
And
up a frag grenade.
I'm hucking it at the people that just shot me. After
that'd be-
activating it, if I can.
They're at medium range. They're too
Shit.
far away for you to hit with...
Oh shoot!
Is this other group?
You'd
is
have
that
to
medium?
move up. That's also medium. You'd have to move up to shoot them.
Is the main guy at short?
Yes, but he's also right next
Yeah,
to...
I'm just gonna shoot him
Like
like, a
he's
normal
gonna-
person. I'm not
Okay.
gonna
He's
throw.
gonna take.
I'm staying behind my cover. I'm going to die if
So
I
you
move.
you took a maneuver to pick up a frag grenade, though.
Yes. So
Okay, cool.
that ultimately
If you want to aim,
didn't matter.
then you have to... Yeah, you might be able to use them if the stormtroopers close range. They might close
Yeah.
range and throw more grenades at you. Who knows?
Now I'll be free to run next turn. I'm just gonna shoot without aiming at Borig.
The main guy,
Borig.
Balric, so that's that difficulty. He has no defense. Actually, no, he is in cover from your point of view. So there you go.
Just want to make sure. No, that was the optimized. Never mind.
Yeah, so if you succeed,
Very
you'll get
nice.
+1 advantage. There you go. 6 success, 1 advantage.
Is that 16
So that's
damage?
not quite enough. 16 damage, not quite enough to trigger crit, unfortunately, for you. So that's 16. So that's you deal a huge blast to this guy. Like the
Finally,
disruptor
I did
starts-
something useful.
Melts
Yes.
away his armor, basically.
Thanks, Eckhart.
I mean, you can try and talk to the stormtroopers if you want. These are people. You can talk to them.
After I kill their leader, we'll see what happens, and then it's like
Okay.
just a their
The
buddy
final
just
group of
boost.
The final group of stormtroopers moves up behind cover with their compatriots over here while the firefight goes on around and takes their shot at Pad. So he is...
Goodbye, cruel world.
Difficulty. None of the stormtroopers have died yet, because you guys are brilliant at this.
It's our first round.
Oh, and they miss. They miss. With 2 advantage, though, instead of hitting you, they blast away the crates you're sitting behind.
That's not me.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Instead of hitting you, they
I
blast
mean,
away
that
the
was
crates
me,
you're
that was
sitting
totally
behind.
no, we're good.
Okay, so you're now out of cover, I'm afraid. So they just shot and you're out of cover. Finally, what
Here's
does Pad
another-
do?
Okay.
So Pad, you're out of cover.
And thanks, Ek, for this Eckhart's raid, in addition to the Imperial raid we're dealing with right now.
Yes. Hello, Eckhart's viewers. You're in for a slightly more exciting time than last time, probably, as our charming player characters get blasted to pieces by the 84th Stormtrooper Legion.
This is Age of Rebellion.
Yes, this is a one-shot Age of Rebellion campaign. Well, one-shot episode. Whatever.
Gonna be all the
Anyway,
land.
what's Pad doing?
So, I know. I'm not going to use the jump pads yet, the jump boots yet, but just for future reference, the jump boots are it's a maneuver to move, or is it an action to move?
They'll be maneuver. I don't believe they count as a pilot. I don't think you have to make a piloting check to use them.
Okay.
I don't think.
I thought you had to, but yeah.
Where
Yes,
the jump boots?
You
What?
knew how bad your character was at piloting, and you bought fucking moon boots thinking it was...
I thought 3 agility would be enough. All right, okay. Anyways, I'll make my way over to this. Is that a single maneuver? Or 2?
Yes, that'll just be 1 maneuver. So you're now at short range from the stormtroopers.
Yes. So I'm going to use the second one to increase or to add 2 strain. So that would actually be 4 strain because I'm doing a second maneuver for the increased difficulty. That increases it by 2.
Okay, so you're taking... Oh, okay. Sorry, what does it do exactly?
Increased difficulty of people shooting at me by 2.
Increased difficulty... Okay. So it's hard for them to hit you. Okay. Sounds good.
Yes. Instead of easy, yes.
Okay, cool.
And after that, I'm going to use an incidental to aim and take a shot at the Balrek.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead, take your shot. He's at short range from you in cover. 1 challenge die. Of course, it's in Strongholds of Resistance.
Make sure I got my weapon all set up properly here.
Of course, these jump boots are in like the one book I don't have.
Yeah.
It's at hand right now.
So the advantage they're providing us is that they distract the GM long enough for us to move pieces around on the board without him noticing.
Yes, he won't notice. So set trigger, I have set trigger on my weapon, so that's an automatic success and a threat to the first combat check made with this weapon in each encounter.
Okay. And add 1 difficulty because of your stinger.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, the setback is from cover. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, from his cover. Yeah, he has no
And I
other-
had a boost from the incidental aim. Yep.
Yep. Oh, God.
Oh my gosh.
And you missed.
Serious?
So that's so you get 1 natural success from the one default success. So that's 1 failure, and then 1 threat, 2 advantage. So one failure, 2 advantage.
You've got it.
What would you like your 2 advantage to do?
I want to curl up in a fetal position and slowly wither away. No,
Recover 2 strain, maybe?
The Imperials shoot the air over the ceiling over their heads, and it collapses and kills them all.
Recovering strains for the weak-willed. I'm going to use the 2 advantage to let's see. I'm going to take away the cover of.
Well, you won't shoot.
No, I can't. I'm going to.
So his cover gets. So you blast away the barrels over there. So let's just move this over here. Cool. Okay, back around to NPCs. Balrek looks at you, Wookiee scum. And
Crush snarls in his face.
He draws a vibro knife and goes in to stab you.
Oh, damn.
Man, you should have had the shock armor. Oh my gosh. This is a mistake.
This
And
entire
you're-
thing was
Or
a
sorry,
mistake.
4 setback. Is
Yes,
there an
4
additional setback from the?
There's-
Oh yeah.
The smoke
No.
has the wind has blown
Yeah.
away this round
Okay.
now.
Yep.
He's actually going to spend 2 strain to aim. Let me think. I think that's everything. Yeah. Okay. Cool. He's going to stab you with a vibro knife. 2 failures, 2 advantages. He misses, but he is going to recover those 2 strain. I think he just like a stab, and it just goes into your fur. I guess.
He doesn't
I
understand
do have a
movie
riot
physiology.
shield.
I'm missing. Honestly, given the setback, it glances off the riot shield. It probably just glances off the riot shield. Okay, who wants to go next?
Well, there's a guy right in front of me that's trying to
Maybe the
stab me.
leader. The leader should give buffs to everyone because that's his job.
Ooh, yeah, let's do that.
Maybe he should give buffs.
Hey, it's the metagaming Irish guy in the background. I'm not sure
Irish?
what.
What?
It sounded like you were trying to do an accent that's worse than mine, but
No, I was just trying to sound like gruff and. Anyway, you can choose to do that or.
No, bonuses sound good. I forgot.
I mean, Pad forgot as well, apparently.
I don't forget things. I do them intentionally terribly.
mean, you
so
can
hold
take-
on. If we're going full out metagaming on this, is it better if he does that first or before my guaranteed death next turn if I run over and throw a grenade?
Actually, the only things he has in Tactician, the only thing he can really do is actually the only thing he can do is do a leadership check. He doesn't really have any buff talents. So honestly, do whatever
Okay.
you guys want.
Can I fit behind the same cover that Slevert is using?
Yeah, totally.
All right.
I'm
running back there. Am I in short range with those people now?
Short range of those stormtroopers.
I'm throwing was it a thermal detonator that?
It's a frag grenade.
Oh, it's
just
a
a
frag
frag
grenade.
grenade.
Oh,
So they
that's
deal
shittier.
8 damage. 8 damage, crit 4, blast 6.
I'm gonna
they're in
throw
cover
that at them.
at short range.
Throwing. What's the
Range light. I'll assume you're doing it with your offhand, since you have your blaster pistol drawn.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you need to take a maneuver to swap hands.
I can't afford that. I will pass out from the strain of putting my blaster in the holster.
Anyway, if you want to roll that seems fine. You're not getting any boosts. 3 success, 3 advantage.
That's the blast.
Excellent. So you hit for 11 and trigger 6 blast damage on all engaged characters, which you deal 6 to every single. Okay, so who are you hitting in particular?
I'm
The left one
aiming
or the right one, I
specifically
guess
for
doesn't really
lefty.
matter.
Is my
Okay,
primary.
we'll call him 1. So that is 8 plus 3, so that's 11. So you kill one of them in the group. The explosion basically scatters shrapnel around all of the rest. They're not severely injured, but the shrapnel looks like it's stuck in their armor a little bit. Okay, NPCs go. The stormtroopers here decide to return the favor. The group of 3 is going to take a maneuver to draw a frag grenade.
Wait, what?
Actually, these guys don't have frag grenades. My bad.
Thank God.
So instead, they're just going to shoot it.
Still-
Instead, they're just going to shoot their blaster rifles at you because you just
You're
threw a
still
grenade.
aiming at us.
No. There's still 2 in that group.
Oh, he's still alive.
They're not-
Who died then?
It's a mob.
No, that's 6. There are 6 stormtroopers there.
Oh,
It's a mob.
okay.
Slev.
Gotcha.
We're
Can I rotate him 30 degrees then?
we need to rotate
gonna
ourselves
aim-
30 degrees and start
He's
running.
gonna aim.
Yeah, we're
aim
tilting
at
at
Orin.
windmills right now.
He's aiming at Orin. This group of 3 is aiming at Orin.
Remember me as a
And
hero.
They hit for 12 damage.
Oh gosh.
12 damage, so that's 10 wounds. And they have 2 advantage. They are going to take a free maneuver and You know what? No, the 2 advantages, they also blast away the cover.
Oh, Slevered, use my corpse to protect yourself.
I can only bodyguard other people.
The other two guys who are left there take their shot at Pad. So that's hard. There's no cover anymore.
So no setback.
But they only, because one of them's dead, they don't get such a good roll.
Oh, this is awful. You've got to be kidding me with this.
So that's...
I'm dead.
You're not dead, you're just down. Oh, also, technically you suffer a crit, Oren. So we'll worry about both of your crits in a second. So that is, how much soak do you have?
I have
4. So that's 12 minus 4, that's 8 wounds you take.
Yep.
So you go just over your threshold, technically. There you go. That's excellent. And they also got 1 threat. So what would you like the threat to do to them? The 1 threat.
Resurrect us. Resurrect us.
I would like to fall in one of my own stim packs.
No. That's like a 3 advantage thing. Come on.
Okay. I was gonna say
write that down for later.
thing,
We're holding him to that.
Yeah. 3 advantage is falling on own stim. Got it. Okay.
So
this threat, I'm going to enrage the Wookiee from seeing his friends drop.
Okay, I'll give him a boost. Yep.
Sounds good to me.
After how this session started, I don't know if we're his friends or what.
Oh, this Wookiee's gonna just roll through all of these people.
When I was
If
creating
he
my
can get
character,
through this first one.
when I was creating my
if you actually hit
character
him.
and all my boosting for my ranged attacks, I legitimately forgot other people would be in fact shooting back at me. So
Anyway, let's think. So you guys are both down now. So there goes Pad's turn. Well, the Stormtroopers is down. Yeah. So now it's Krosh's turn. Oh, crits. Right. Yeah. You guys both need crits.
Yes.
You both have crit plus 10.
Yep.
Because you both already have crits. So Oren, you get a 95 because of course you do. A 95, which is at the brink. You suffer 1 strain each time you perform an action. Not that you're performing any actions anytime soon, but it'll be fun when you have to. And then...
Got 3 actions left.
I just dropped it. Oh, for goodness sake. Go away. So, and then our pal takes a 44, which isn't that bad, really, all things considered, which is you're bowled over, you're knocked prone, and suffer a strain. So suffer an additional strain. Your unconscious body falls to the floor a little harder than it. Yeah, you flip back, you do a backflip. Okay, Krosh, what's the plan? You're the last man standing.
Krosh stabs the guy.
Okay, Krosh stabs the guy. Brilliant. Are you going to aim? Are you going to aim to stab the guy?
Yes, that would be a good thing to do.
Okay.
2 difficulty.
Yep, 2 difficulty. And that's it. Do you take down...
There we go.
That's more like it.
Okay, 5 success, 2 advantage. So how much damage is that? That's like 13, right?
15 because I have a critical.
Oh, right, 15. Yeah, he
He turns into dust.
No, I mean he's down. He's definitely down. He takes a crit plus. What's the vicious rating of your vibro sword?
1, I think.
So crit plus 10.
No, 2.
2. Okay, crit plus 20.
Yeah.
So that's a 96. So it's 116. Pretty good. So our pal here takes just for flavor. He's blinded. You literally carve out his eyes. You slash his eyes. He is now blind.
that's rough.
He upgrades the difficulty of perception and vigilance 3 times. 3 times. Okay, well with that guy down.
So he's down, but not dead, or he's out of the fight.
Technically, he's out of the fight. Like he's unconscious.
Okay.
The only you can try and kill. You can just keep stabbing him if you want to kill him completely. But
I don't think that's a good thing to do right now, but it's good to know I can.
But you did also get 2 advantage. What would you like to do with that? You could take a free maneuver.
Yeah, you could take a maneuver to
Yeah.
run up to somebody else. Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
we
I'm
need
gonna do
we need
that.
to think in terms of the broader rebellion here. We're dead. So
You could
it might be the
retreat.
best option to literally just stab that guy to death, and then you've helped the galaxy at large. But accept that we're gone.
You know you can retreat, right, guys? You realize retreating is an
Dude,
option here.
Get
You're
that
watching your
retreat
allies.
nonsense out of here. We
Your
are here to
allies are
make our
being-
final stand.
Your allies are being pushed back. Stormtroopers are going down, and rebels.
I
are
mean,
going
how
down
do
all
you
over the
drag
place.
2 unconscious bodies out of a room filled
You
with
don't. You
stormtroopers?
leave them,
Oh,
or you take your maneuver
Yeah.
to run to them and use their stim packs next round.
Yes,
That's an option.
those stim packs I
I
definitely
have-
bought.
all of those stim
I
packs
have
that
5.
we never
Get that
touched.
out of here. I got 5 stim packs. I don't know what you're talking about. You have
All right,
5
you
stim
know what?
packs.
I'm so far over my threshold that I'd take several stim packs, and I can't have that many.
Yeah.
You would take 2
I
stim
mean-
packs,
Yeah,
not
you take
several,
2.
just 2.
That's what I'm thinking. Is I can't heal them faster than the stormtroopers can pour on damage.
You can heal Pad, and you can then both run away.
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
What about Orin?
Yeah, we could totally
Yeah,
leave this
forget Orin.
disgusting human here.
Wow.
Okay,
All right,
so
I'm gonna run over to my
Take your free maneuver.
compatriots. Yeah.
I'm starting
So
to
the
think you guys just
Stormtrooper-
don't like my character.
The stormtrooper here moves up into some cover at short range, and he's going to shoot at Crush, who obviously has
Now,
some
why would he
ridiculous
do that?
I couldn't imagine. And he misses, actually. He misses. The 3 advantage means that the other stormtroopers on the other side of the hangar are continuing to make their advance, and they've pushed the rebels really far back. You guys are now basically almost surrounded. And basically just the weight of... If you guys don't escape within the next round... Well, sorry, let me rephrase. If you guys don't escape within the next 2 rounds, you are going to just be pinned down under a wave of fire, and you're going to have no support at all. Speaking of which, we're in the next round, and it's an NPC's go. You're lucky these stormtroopers for some reason aren't statted with grenades, like most stormtroopers are. So these 2 groups here, they're both basically just going to aim and shoot at our Wookiee, because why wouldn't they? They miss as well.
Frost makes a rude gesture in their direction.
Instead, so they pour on enough fire to damage your riot shield, and it only provides 1 less defense, 1 less range defense. The other group, who only has 2 guys in it, makes the same shot, and they do hit for a whopping 11 damage, or in your wonderful Wookiee land, 3 wounds. And yeah, that's... oh, sorry, that technically wasn't their go. Well, they went early. So who wants to go next? Technically, it's... So, Cross, you can use you have up to 2 maneuvers. You can use 2 stim packs. Who do you want to use stim packs on?
Stim pack him and drag me with you.
Sorry, had a call. Yeah, stim pack him,
Okay.
Orin, and just book it.
So, so Pad, you recover 5 wounds.
I'm
and
back.
You're now conscious. You're still prone though. Technically, you don't get up because
I'm
you're going to take a
down.
maneuver to. You have to take a maneuver to stand up because you were knocked. You were bowled over. And with your second maneuver, so what are you doing with this? Are you going to stim Orin as well?
There doesn't seem to be much point. I'm just going to pick him up and move.
You're going to pick him up. Okay, so could you make an average athletics check to drag his body 1 range band? Or pick up and carry his body 1 range band? In this glorious retreat from the base.
Hey.
3 success, 3 advantage. Yep, so you pick him up. Where are you going to move him? Like over here?
If I can get behind that cover, then yes.
Yep. That's in short range. You get behind cover with his unconscious body. And with 3 advantage...
You drag me over Stimpack. We've established it's canon.
No. No.
Fine.
You can give me a maneuver.
I can? Oh, yeah,
No,
that
that's
sounds
not
great.
how-
Let's.
No. Oh, that's
No?
not. You can only.
You can't give
you
an
can
ally
perform-
a free maneuver.
Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah.
You can perform a free maneuver like in response to an enemy action and stuff, or you can spend basically you give yourself the free maneuver in this case by spending 2 advantage to recover 2 strain. Oh, technically no, because technically you used 1 maneuver to use the stim pack. You could stim. You could stim Orin once.
I could using.
Yeah, with a second maneuver to spend 2 advantage.
I used a second maneuver to drag him over here.
That's
The
action.
action. That was an athletics action. That you were doing an athletics action there, basically.
So I can.
So you were moving, but it was still an action.
All right, I stim pack him.
So you recover 5 wounds. So you're not up yet, but you're getting there. You're getting there. You're compromised, and you're at the brink, but you're getting there.
And then I'm just going to recover 1 strain with the 3rd.
Yeah, you're kind of Wookiees are very dangerous with strain. Okay, and because the stormtroopers already shot at you as you were pulling the body, we pass on their turn, and we're going to go through to Pad, who is down. He has 1 maneuver to get up.
I flip myself right side.
And you can make a second maneuver to run to cover with your compatriots to the back of the hangar.
I can take a aim and shot, right?
You sure you want to spend that
no.
strain, buddy?
That would be a 3rd maneuver.
The aim is
a
incidental.
maneuver. Oh, you have an
Aim is
incidental aim,
incidental.
then yeah, totally. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can aim and shoot. Who are you shooting at?
Kill off the captain.
The kill off the captain?
Oh my god, you ready? Okay, cool. You're going to shoot the captain again?
Yeah, let's kill this captain.
Okay, so he's prone, so you had a setback.
It's not defense. Yeah, that's right. That's considered defense, right?
He's at short range. It's effectively defense, yeah.
Just to be clear, we've killed 1 out of 18 stormtroopers between those mobs.
Almost killed 1.
Yeah,
I blew one up.
we've only dropped.
I
So
blew
you
one up.
killed 1 out of
We did.
1 out of 9 sand troopers. There are
Okay.
9 sand troopers that are focusing on you guys specifically, and you've knocked out the captain.
I thought it was 6 per, so my mistake.
No, 3 per. Oh wow. Okay, so how much damage does your weapon do?
It's the first time we find out. Okay, let me hop over there. I think it's 8 damage. Let me confirm.
It's a heavy carbine.
It's 10
right?
damage. Excuse me, 10 damage.
That's ridiculous. That's 14. So he hits his double his he's gone to double his wound threshold now, and he's going to take a crit plus 10 because your weapon isn't vicious, right?
No, it's not.
So that is sorry, you can roll that. What am I saying? You can roll the crit. 78, so that's an 88, unless do you want to spend the triumph to add a further 10?
I'm going to use the triumph for something else if I can.
That's probably a good idea. So an 88, someone already has 88 somewhere. So I'll have to make a copy. It's compromised. He increases the difficulty of all skill checks by 1. So he's like, the only one that kills him outright is the death crit, and I'm going to say that it's going to take that to kill him, so you guys still haven't killed him technically. But yeah, so what would you like your triumph to do?
Okay. I'm going to have a. There aren't any other like heavy vehicles behind them, are there?
No, there's the ATST. There's an ATST in the canyon, but it's too far back to it can't shoot into the hangar because the hangar door is closed most of the way.
And Mercedes is in an A-wing, right?
Yeah, she's off flying. She's off escorting transports right now.
Okay.
You're hearing the radio go, "Transport 3 is away."
Let's see. I'm gonna do this for the narrative, guys. I'm just gonna burn this triumph, but we're gonna say the last bit of the transports get away. So we've basically completed our task of getting the transports out.
You rogued one.
You're pretty.
I
So you're pretty
rogued
sure.
one us.
So all of the equipment is getting out,
Yeah.
but you guys maybe aren't. Okay.
All right.
Is our shuttle here somewhere?
Our crashed shuttle.
Yeah.
Your shuttle has been moved to the transport hangar. You need to get to the transport hangar to get out, and that's at extreme range from where you are right now. So that takes. So it goes 1 to short, to medium, 2 to long. So that's 6 maneuvers away. If you can run to the transport hangar over the next 3 rounds without getting killed by stormtroopers, you can get to the transports.
Is that a different hangar or is that the same hangar?
It's a different hangar. So you see on the map, you're currently in hangar number 1. Transport hangar is below. You have to go down a bunch of passageways to get to the transport hangar through a bunch of other parts of the
Okay.
through the other parts of the map.
Is there somewhere on the map where we can see where the lifts to that are? Would it just be down from this?
What? See what is what now?
How do we? Where's the access to that actually from?
You have to go down past the command place through. Like you have to go through the armory and down a bunch of steps. Like it isn't clearly marked on this map.
Okay.
There isn't a direct access. I know it looks like there should be an elevator or something, but even if there was, you can't reach it because it's surrounded by stormtroopers.
Okay.
If it was on the map, it would be there, like in that corner,
Right.
which is currently surrounded by stormtroopers. You're currently got your backs against this door here, basically, in the side of the hangar.
Okay.
So you guys are basically here, right? The hangar, the elevator, if it does anything, is there. So good luck with that. All the rebels on that side of the hangar are retreating to the corridors because there's another 2 exits to the hangar there that they can make it out of safely.
Okay, whose turn is it?
It's an NPC's turn. One of the groups of the last group of stormtroopers to go. Oh, stupid pen running out. The last group of stormtroopers to go is going to take their shot again at Krosh because he is still definitely the most dangerous. It's these guys here. There's still 3 of them in the group. They're at short range. You only have 2 defense.
And the cover doesn't count there?
No, cover is not additional. Cover sets your defense.
Gotcha.
They're going to aim. Yeah, certain cover stacks and certain cover doesn't. We can talk about that later. They miss, but they get a triumph. They shoot the door behind you shut.
Still 2 other doors.
Your escape there is cut off. You're going to have to somehow make it. You've now got to go an extra 2 maneuvers to get out of the hangar. Let me see if I can find a door in that stupid tile pack.
You just use one of the walls.
Yeah, but if there are actual doors, actual doors, it's going to complain about. Oh boy, oof, lag.
A very heavy door or heavy wall, apparently.
So there's a door that's been destroyed. So that door's destroyed.
Like all real doors, it has flipped over upside down when destroyed.
And the other 2 doors are there and there. That's where you've got to go. It's still kind of vaguely covered by rebels, but they've almost completely fallen back. So this door is. I'll just delete. There's no door there. Okay, you can't get out that way. So what would you like? So into round 4. Technically, an NPC goes first here. That same squad is going to shoot at Krosh again because, damn it, they're going to hit this time. And they miss. The cover you're behind again gets blasted away. So you're out of cover. You're in the open. It's a player character's turn. Someone probably should stim pack Oren so he can actually move.
You want to go first and try to get to cover somewhere?
The problem is, if I incur any more strain, I'm gonna fall down again.
That's okay. You can just not take any actions. You can just take maneuvers.
Oh yeah, very true. If I take, you're saying it takes 2 maneuvers to get through the door, or 2 maneuvers to get to the door?
2 maneuvers to get just to the other side of the door.
Okay. What I'm gonna do?
It'll be like
I
one maneuver
will-
to get to cover next to the door.
Gotcha. I'll stim pack and then move to the cover.
Okay,
So I'll stim
cool.
pack and move to get. Yeah, there.
So Oren, you're now at 11 out of 12 wounds. Congratulations.
You're alive.
Is it? It's -4 that I get?
Yes, because you already
Right.
healed 5, and it decreases after every use. Right, now it's 2 NPC groups in a go. These groups are going to move up to short range.
Oh,
Short range. They're still in cover, and they're going to take. They're both going to shoot at Crush because he's definitely the most dangerous. He's not in cover, but he still has his riot shield. They can't aim because they both take maneuvers, and I'm just going to roll this twice. So Crush takes no damage.
This guy is ridiculous.
They can't aim. They're stormtroopers. With 3 advantage, they're going to upgrade their allies' next check. Because there's only 2 in that group, they're going to basically roll as though there were 3 of them. They're like, no, shoot the Wookiee! Shoot the Wookiee!
Oh
They
boy,
hit
here
the
we go.
Wookiee. They hit the Wookiee for 11 damage, or 3 wounds. My god, he's in the double figures, finally. And they
out of
crit.
24.
Yeah, exactly. They crit. And you already have how many crits?
Just one.
Only one. Okay. So that's a whole 28. Ugh, yawn. And then you reduce that by 10, don't you?
Yes, I
18.
do.
You have a crit of
And
18.
you get extra damage too from
Yep.
the Wookiee nonsense.
You cannot gain a free maneuver this turn. Only this turn. So you have to spend 2 strain to take a maneuver.
Oh, okay.
You have to spend the strain to take a maneuver this turn. Only this turn. But that's the NPCs going. Now it's player character's turn.
Just me then? Or has
Yeah,
Crush
you
gone?
should get to cover. No, but I'm staying here to get shot at while you get to cover.
So
Yeah, he's tanking.
if you do a maneuver is it in this system, can you do a second maneuver as your action and not take the strain?
Yes.
That is
Yes.
allowed? All right.
Yes. So you can take 2 maneuvers and just book it out through the door into the corridor.
That's what I'm doing. Because if I do an actual action, I take strain and I will die.
Yes,
So-
exactly. You'll just go unconscious from strain instead. Well, actually, you'll be at your threshold. It would be fine, kind of.
Well, I'd take 1 strain, and then I can do 3 more actions, and then I'm out, basically.
Okay, Crush, it's your turn.
All right.
So you're because you're distracted by the shots hitting you. So when it's not a free maneuver, that means you can't take it. You can either suffer 2 strain or exchange your action. And so if you want, you can simply move to cover and end your turn. So you can move to cover with pad and end your turn.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Into round 5, the stormtroopers continue their pursuit. This time they're feeling pretty. This group of 2 are feeling pretty emboldened by the injuries they dealt to you. So they're going to run up out of cover to short range and make a similar check, but less powerful. You still have the riot armor. You're in cover, but it doesn't actually make any difference to you. They can't aim because they took a maneuver. So
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
so that's 10 damage. So 2 wounds. And another critical injury. So effectively just plus 10 because you have the minus 10.
Right.
So that's 55. This is how hard it is to kill people. Fearsome wound. You increase the difficulty of all presence and willpower checks until the end of the encounter. Oh, sorry. I think I gave you the wrong. I gave you the wrong one there. Where are you, Fist and Wound? There you are. There you go. So that's your third critical injury. You're collecting them! You're getting a lovely little hand of critical injuries. It's going to take a while in Bacta to sort that out. Okay. And then the other group follows them and does the same. But they're going to shoot at Pad because
little me.
yeah, because you have more stimpaks. It's fine. You only have one setback. They can't aim. They'll probably miss. Let's be honest. Oh, they didn't miss.
Are you
They
kidding me
didn't
with
miss.
that nonsense?
They dealt 13 damage.
Well over my wound threshold now.
13 minus 4. He deals another 7. Oh god. It's okay. Now you just take 2. So you go down again, right at the door, just as you try to escape. How sad. And yeah, they got one threat. What would you like the one threat to do to them? The one whole threat.
Could it kick up a little dust or something like that? Give us some.
I mean, you already have there's not really much more cover.
You could make their guns. I don't know if you can make their guns jam with that. That's despair more than.
Yeah, that's like despair 3 threat.
Yeah.
One threat you can do add a boost, add a setback to their next check.
Setback sounds good. What do you think?
Okay. Okie dokie.
I mean, that wasn't actually mine to say, but
Drag me out of here.
yeah.
Yes, because it is another player character's turn.
All right, Krosh drags his other unconscious friend out of the room.
That's going to be an average athletics check again.
Why didn't I make 3 crushes?
A good question.
Didn't think combat meant combat.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you fail to pick him up. He's a sack of potatoes. You have 2 advantage though, so you could take a free maneuver and stimpack him again, I suppose.
Can I even get him conscious now, though? He's taken
You have
2,
2
right?
maneuvers. You have 2 maneuvers. You can.
No, I mean, but how many?
4 and 3. It would be 4
You
and
can
3,
heal him
which
for
would
7.
take me back. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Which
then
is
I'll
getting
do
back
that.
up. Okay. And you're now down to just 2 stimpaks left, I believe.
Yeah.
Depending on whose you were using. Into round 6. Meanwhile, what's Oren was the first one to get out, right? That
Yeah.
last round? Yeah, okay. So they're going to shoot at. So the group of 2 is going to shoot at Krosh again. Because they're like, oh my god, he keeps bringing up this damn Gran. They're going to aim at you. They're just standing there, blasting away. Why is he not going down? They just dealt 12 wounds. They just dealt 12 damage, which is just another 4 wounds. You're starting to get there, but wow, it's taken a lot of blaster rifle shots. And with their 2 advantage, they're going to take a free maneuver and actually retreat back to medium range and cover. Because they're just so, they don't understand. They're scared of this Wookiee now. They don't understand how this Wookiee is taking so many shots. Player character.
Do you want me to walk out?
You're unconscious.
Limp out.
I'm back to being conscious.
Oh no, you're right. I did. Yeah. Do it. Get out.
Oh, as you leave, by the way, I forgot. You should technically have another crit because you went over your wound threshold again. So you should have a quick
Yes, I
crit
did.
20. So that's an 80.
Before
you
I
got
move.
100.
Oh,
Yeah, you got 100.
Dead.
100, which is that's not dead.
that's,
150
Is that
for that.
150? Yeah.
150.
Yeah, someone already has 100. I believe that is that Krosh?
Blinded?
Oh yeah, that might be blinded.
No, 116. That's 116.
Okay, then where the hell is 100? Did I delete it accidentally?
I have 91 and 95. Yeah, I don't think
I must-
it's out here.
Oh god. Or maybe I put it in the wrong place. 100, 101. Is it Headringer? No. I just don't have the card. I don't have the card for it, but I know what it is. But I can tell you what it is.
I'll write it down.
Yeah, so that is 100. Crippled. Oh, right. It's one of your limbs is crippled. Right.
Oh, fun.
Oh, the Minoc thing. That's not a Minoc from earlier.
I'm going to say it is your left arm.
Okay.
So you can't use your carbine anymore
Yeah,
without
I can't
suffering
use my
because it's
pistol.
two-handed. But you can use your pistol with in your
Okay.
right hand. Okay, so I'm very nice. It's your left arm. But anyway, you can run out the door now.
Okay. My arm is flopping around. I drop my heavy blaster because I can't really use it anymore. And
Just drop it and run.
Yeah.
You make it into the
My
corridor.
arm
and
as I turn past the door, my arm slaps the door.
Man, what are you doing out here?
You look down the corridor to see a bunch of rebels there like, wait, let's come on, quick to the transports.
I'm going to use my second maneuver to keep on going. But yeah.
2 more groups of stormtroopers have to shoot at Krosh before he can get out.
He dies to save us.
He is uncrushable.
So that's another 11
2.
11 wounds there.
You still
they're
have
gonna
stim packs, by the way, so...
I don't.
Yeah.
They're going to pass a boost to the last group, who is all the way over here. They're at medium range. The last group's going to shoot at you with an extra boost. They're going to aim. Can they hit? The answer is yes. They deal 10.
Still up.
Woo! Play character's turn.
Cross, get the fuck out of there.
Cross gets the fuck out of there.
You might want a stim pack as well.
Take 1 maneuver to get through the door, 1 maneuver to stim pack, I would suggest. To take yourself to 18.
Yeah.
Okay, you get into the relative safety of the corridor, and I'm going to say that's the end of that combat for now.
I shoot
As
the
you're
door
running
closed.
yeah, that's fine. As you're running down the corridor, in the middle of the chaos, you notice there's a rebel dressed in the uniform, hunching over a small outcropping, desperately trying to move something that's embedded. They're wearing a helmet obscuring any facial features, and their bulky uniforms make it impossible to tell if they're male or female. The being eventually gives up their attempts and runs off down a side corridor towards the habitat.
Well, that's an awful interesting thing for them to die doing. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
Is that something we can lift up?
As you move towards it, you notice it's an identical device to the one you found attached to the rock outside.
Oh, the detonator.
It's not. No, it's a communications device.
Oh,
That jammer from
Oh, so this guy was probably a plant.
plant,
Was he a
mineral,
spy, a
animal. I don't
traitor?
give a fuck.
Who
Let's
knows?
leave.
As you
Yeah,
continue
let's just
running, as you continue running through the corridors, Earl Hayden, the barkeep, stops you outside the command room. I need your help to convince the commanders to leave now. The stubborn fools are refusing to follow protocol, and if we don't get them out of transport now, they could be trapped by the attack.
I'll have a word with him. This is what I was born for.
He leads you into the
Cautious.
command and control room, and you can see the 3 commanders. There's one you hadn't met. There's a Juros you haven't met. General Neal, Commander Querno, and Senior Advisor Hayes, all standing around the damaged computer systems. There's dust falling from the ceiling, explosions happening around. They're desperately trying to direct troops out towards the transports.
While we were moving down the hall, could I use another stim pack?
Oh, of course, yes. And that's all of your stim packs, I believe.
Yeah.
I'll hand over 2 more to you.
Okay.
Okay, so what kind? How are you going to try and convince them?
All right, I understand that you want to save as many lives as possible, and that's commendable. But the rebellion needs you. Get on a transport and get the fuck out of here. We're coming with you, by the way.
Is that leadership?
I'm cool.
That's coercion.
Okay, you're threatening them. Okay, could you make an average coercion check?
It's a broader threat against the rebellion if they're not in it.
Could I
average coercion with a setback.
Yeah.
I can remove a setback, so just average coercion.
Sweet.
Do you have any specialties or a specialization for this?
I have this.
Oh boy. So this was basically just to interrupt them. They look up They look up because they're all just talking about tactical concerns. Also, there's some really big hail happening outside right now, like golf ball sized apparently. No,
Oh no.
ping pong ball sized. So that's fun. Yeah, there was tornado watch earlier. It's great. Anyway, they look up and notice you, and like, look, we're too busy directing the troops. We've got to stay. We've got to look after
Directing
everybody.
the
Make sure
troops to
everybody
do
gets
what?
out.
They're leaving. I need to direct them to a fucking door or something. Get the fuck out of here.
I'm going to say, leave me behind. I'll direct them. You guys go out. You're more important.
Okay, could you make an average leadership check?
I think everything's all set up, actually. Oof.
Oh, brilliant. So take a strain.
Okay.
It's a pretty tense situation. You're not unconscious. You're just about to be. Your gran eyes like wobble all over the place. The general sighed and said, "Very well. You two," he points at Krosh and Orin. Escort the advisor to her shuttle. She's in the secondary hangar, a YT 2400. I'll be moving to the transports. Good luck, Pad. Don't stay any longer than you have to.
There's a traitor in our midst. Watch out for any explosives on that shuttle.
Okay. What would you like? The triumph, I will say, is that they take you very seriously about that, because otherwise they wouldn't take you very seriously because you're just suddenly saying there's a traitor.
Okay.
General says, "What? A traitor? I'll have the men scan the shuttles as we leave. And I'll radio the transports that have already left. Thanks for letting me know. Come on, men, this way." And he takes out the other transport staff, and you're left there at the tactical console.
Right. Where are we going? We're escorting.
Yes, so you're running to the to the secondary hangar, which is back through the mess hall, and the as you run towards the hangar, an explosion blasts the side of the hangar open, and dust falls onto the waiting transport. A nearby group of soldiers they dive for cover. One of them's hit, and he crawls towards you as you run towards the freighter, and he says, "You must initiate a self-destruct sequence. The generators in the lower tunnels. They can be set to overload." He coughs and sputters near to death. "It was my mission, but I failed. You must..." And he dies.
All right, let's get on that shuttle.
Haste. Satana Haste turns to you and says, "Corellian to Corellian, don't worry about me. Look, I'll be safe with my assistant. Get out of here. You'll be the only ones who can finish this."
You mean get out of here to the generator, not get out of here to the shuttle? That's right there.
Yes, you can make it to the transports. The generator room connects.
Right. All right.
Go get your commander from the control room.
Let's be clear here. Your plea for me to that you'll be all right is that I should go to the generators.
This is an order, soldier.
I'm just clarifying. All right, let's go do that then.
So you run back towards the command and control room, which is on the way. As you reach, so Pad, what are you doing in the control room right now?
Could I make a? Well, I want to try and make sure that our rebels are adequately holding off the stormtroopers in this hangar.
They're starting to be pushed. They're starting to be pushed back. They're starting to seal the doors. But it looks like some stormtroopers are breaking through into the tunnels, and if you don't leave now, they're going to get between you and the generator.
Pat, we got to go to a generator and blow something up. It's got to self-destruct. And then, presumably, things will happen.
Okay, so I'm going to give a rousing speech to these final rebels that are holding the doors. So just to give us a little bit more time, we're going to let them know that we have to self-destruct, but you've saved everyone if we get this done properly.
Okay, could you make a hard leadership check with a boost and a setback? Those boost and setback are from the previous combat phases, because leadership is based on discipline. It's opposed by discipline specifically.
Okay, I have a
Effective
setback
round.
removed from
Excellent.
my skill set.
Perfect. You see, sometimes these setback removal things do stuff. Excellent.
Go.
So you managed to break it. You managed to. You hear a cheer from the corridor as rebels start to make their way to the final transports, the mostly small troop carriers that are left now instead of the large equipment hangars, and you guys rush to the generators. You hear blaster fire behind you inside the control room. Glass from the hollow display shatters. Stormtrooper shouting. A grenade goes off. You manage to get through the door and down towards the generator.
All right, there's some sort of self-destruct sequence we're initiating. The guy didn't get much out before he glittered to death, so I'm not sure.
You know how to you basically have to disable the generator failsafes to allow it to overheat. Basically,
Thinking about it a bit more, I remembered how to disable the generator failsafe, so I'll just do that.
Well, the first thing you're going to do is make an average mechanics check to work out what's going on. Like, that's the first thing.
Is anyone here better at mechanics than I am? I got this guy Buzz I know. I'm going to call him up on the phone. Hi. How can I help you? Yeah, we're just looking across the street.
Master Buzz.
Master Buzz, what are you on the phone for? Is anyone better than 3 mechanic?
No.
All right. Average?
Yep.
There you go.
Okay, cool. That's fine. So you take a little longer than you'd like to find the right panels. And now you're going to have to make a hard computers check to successfully set the generators to explode.
Is anyone... I guess
Also
not.
overload. Yep, this is your time to shine. This is your time to shine. Someone can assist.
Yeah, I can.
Someone can give a boost.
I can give a boost.
Okay.
Rosh is
There's
just
loads.
leaning
Look at all
against
these.
the wall. and
He's
bleed.
basically just going to be standing behind me saying, "Oh, did you try running it in admin mode? Is that what this is?"
Look at yeah. Look at these destiny points as well.
Yeah, these.
Yeah,
these
you know what,
just
let's do
in
it.
there.
points.
Oh my god.
So
There
as
appears
usual,
to be some kind of
an
computer
addition-
here.
As usual, an additional cumulative threat is added to the final result.
But
of
that no longer
you can
keeps the
keep trying.
destiny, right?
You can yeah. So the advantage is it still uses the destiny point. The
still
two advantage,
does?
you can do something. Yeah, you can do something with the advantage if you like.
Can I notice anything that would make it easier to do what I'm doing, or prevent stormtroopers from getting to me while I'm doing what I'm doing?
Yeah, sure. You shoot the door to the generator. Now the only way to the transports is going to be through the ventilation shafts. But you can do that. It's just going to be slightly more annoying. And no, you can't re-roll the destiny point.
Okay, so that's like this now.
Yeah, unless you spend another one. It's one per roll.
If this one fails, we'll do
Oh
another
my-
destiny point.
Okay.
You succeed
With
Oh,
two
thank
threat.
God.
with one threat.
Yeah.
I'm keeping track of the total threat for the end of this,
Gotcha.
which will change things. Okay, so you managed to access and start it setting into overload. However, to stop and to make sure that nobody can stop the countdown, you're going to have to make a final easy mechanics check to basically jam the system.
Could we punch it?
Couldn't we just cut off the screen or
Sure.
something?
So that would be like a hard athletics check to rip the computers away.
I might as well do this check first.
Okay.
All right, I think I got it. We got to get out of here now, though. Before someone tells us to blow something else up, because do any of these count as actions?
These are all actions, yeah.
Okay, so I pass out.
So wait, how many actions did you take there?
I
He
think
took
that was 3.
3.
So I
Three.
pass out.
Sweet.
Oh, he took actions when he was coercing people too.
It's fine.
Remember me as someone you have to
Fine.
drag out of here to safety.
You can stim pack him
forgot.
one more time.
No,
No,
it's
you need to do a
strange.
medicine
Strange.
check. You need to do a medicine check.
Crush size, stim packs himself,
So that recovers 3 wounds.
and picks up the Corellian.
Okay, to get through you're going to have to make a hard athletics check to get through the ventilation shafts. You only have, because of the threat you suffered, it's going to take 6 rounds until the generators explode, and you only have 4 rounds to get through the ventilation shafts. So any threat added onto this is going to take more time to get through the ventilation shafts carrying Oren. And then you might as well
burn
die in
a
a
destiny
fireball.
point.
You need to go first. Yeah. If you want to use your destiny point, go for it. I'm gonna end up dying in here, so just.
Whew. Yeah, you managed to make it through with 1 advantage. You managed to make it through into the transport hangar. As you get there, you notice there's still 1 troop transport left. And you managed to barely make your way onto it, and it was waiting for you. It's completely packed full of troops. They drag you on board and take off into the sky.
Wait, Sleverd?
Did Sleverd make it?
Do you want me to roll this? If that was a group roll, because he wasn't carrying me.
No, Sleverd doesn't need to make an athletics check. He can just crawl through behind. It's
Oh,
the
okay.
difficulty. The athletics check was because you're having to crawl through dragging someone.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So
He's just halfway through the vent. Nope. Crawls back in.
He's stuck in there.
as you blast off towards the atmosphere, a group of TIE fighters begins to pursue the transports. The small amount, the few fighters that are left of the squadrons that were defending the base, try to engage. Most of them are starting to get shot down as you head out into orbit. Only Mercedes survives in her A-wing, weaving her way through the canyons. And as you get out of the atmosphere, you see behind you on the view screen, there's a series of powerful detonations blasting around the rebel base as an entire square kilometer of desert just collapses in on itself as the generator explodes. As your ship leaves Arda I, the realization that a large Imperial presence still awaits you in space sets in. Star Destroyers and waves of TIE fighters close in on your location with capture or destruction a sure bet, unless you jump to light speed now. The pilot of the transport desperately puts in the astrogation coordinates, and you blast off through the TIE fighters towards the next waypoint. Over the comms in hyperspace, as one of the doctors assigned to this transport is tending to Orin, you hear Satena Hayes coming through on the comms. We lost a great deal today. Our base, our home, and our friends. We must look past these dark times and steel ourselves for the fight ahead. The Empire will not rest until they have crushed us under their heel, and I will not allow that to happen. We must show the galaxy that tyranny will not prevail, that freedom and democracy will reign once more. We mustn't forget those who gave their lives to aid us in our struggle. Among those heroes is General Neal. He was one of our best, and his loss will be felt for a long time, but we must continue his legacy. I leave you all now to your duties and your own remembrances. Basically, General Neal's transport was shot down because basically you guys took too long to reach the command control center. There were too many losses in the mass combat, so he didn't make it out.
So you're saying
And there
General
we have
Neal
it.
fell?
Yes. Suffered more strain. So that's it. That was the first episode of Onslaught at Arda I. There are technically 2 other episodes where you investigate the traitor in the ranks. You go to Order Adama and do lots of exciting stuff. But that is where we're going to leave it here. Our brave and severely injured players with 7 crits between them.
us.
Yeah. Let's say if combat continued to happen, you guys would probably die pretty quick without these crits being healed. Pretty easy to hit 150 when you have this many crits. All I need is someone hitting you with a vicious weapon, and it's game over.
Basically, you just need a crush on the other side.
Right, exactly.
That type of weapon.
So you're saying if we have that, we need to hit him in the crotch.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. We got to stop here before Corey keeps punning.
Yeah.
Team. This was completely
compulsion.
unintentional. I just did a Wookiee name generator, and that was the first thing that came up. I was like, "That's right. That is perfect."
No, it was perfect. Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks everybody who stuck around for that
Thank you.
harrowing tale.
Thank you, Bob, for doing all the murdering.
Yeah, next time, back to your regularly scheduled murdering. Where I believe... What were you guys in the middle of? You were in the middle of something last time as well. I'll have to listen to I'll have to listen to the end of the last episode to remind myself.
Med supplies.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You were going to Darlang. You were going to a completely legitimate trade show.
No chemical weapons.
No chemical weapons. I can completely truthfully say that there are no chemical weapons.
Bioweapons.
Nope.
Other kinds of weapons.
Possibly.
Okay. Well, thanks again for watching, everyone. As Bob was saying, in 2 weeks from now, our next episode is going to be back in our regular Edge of the Empire campaign. If Kalo is ever absent for another stream night again, we could probably continue on with our brave band of heavily injured Orin, Pad, and Krosh. So that's an option. And this week, there will actually be the first episode of a new series that I'm going to be doing with Eckhart's Ladder. It's going to be for the first episode on his channel on Thursday at 8 p.m., I believe we decided on. I'm not 100% sure on that time, but I think we posted it in the videos we did announcing that. So first episode's on his channel. 2 weeks from now, it'll be on Corey's Datapad, which is my lore channel, for those of you on the channel who have not seen that. But yeah, so that's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks again for coming out. Thanks for playing Inertial and Slevered.
Yeah, that was a blast.
And thanks again, Bob,
Literally.
for running everything and not entirely killing us.
Only slightly killing you.
Only mostly killing us. We were very, very close. But yeah, that's going to do it. So see you next time, everyone.